You gotta intro us, Paige.
Wonderful. Welcome, ladies, gents, and those beyond the binary. Normally we'd be playing a session of D&D tonight, but we're doing something a little different this time around. Tonight, I will be interviewing a few of the players and the DM about their previous Curse of Strahd game. So, how is everyone tonight?
I'm
That was beautiful.
I'm good. I'm golden.
Right off the cuff.
I'm checking my audio and I think I'm always a little low for the most part, so I'm trying to fix that out while we talk right now.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Yeah, Paige, you got that talk show host voice.
That's just my normal voice, friend. Just with a little bit of butter added to it.
Ew.
I'm fat now. I'm just kidding.
I'm sorry. The role of Fat Man has been claimed ever since I walked into the server.
Ooh, potato.
Who
So
you
I'm
call a
sorry. You will have to
potato?
find another niche.
I'm the brown one.
Oh my god. He got you there.
No, that's true because I am as white can be.
Yeah. Even Dave was
Oh
like, you
God,
got
No,
me.
we got rid of Dave.
Oh, good,
Mic
good.
check.
Our
I just
bard has
switched.
returned.
I just switched mics. How he sounding?
We
You
How's
mean
the
our
the audio
wizard?
board?
Sounds good to me, friend. Sounds good to me.
Listen, this ain't an Iron Mouse setup, okay? We got what we got, you know?
Level 3 spells.
We're styling. Nice intro though. I heard the intro.
It's
I'm glad. I'm
beautiful.
glad. I had something planned and I just threw it out last minute. I apologize.
That was good. I liked it.
So I'm gonna send Paige a bunch of questions, but Paige, if you have questions for all of us, go ahead and ask while I send you some. I
Mm,
need answers.
Most certainly. So, first things first, why don't we introduce characters to the lovely folks at home who weren't privy to this Curse of Strahd game? You know what? Quinn, you're up first on my little screen here. Why don't you tell me who
Yes.
you were playing?
You're sick for that. I'm playing. I almost hit Kilgore. I was. I almost asked who was I playing. It has been a long time since this
It
campaign.
has been it has been like 2 or so years, so you're good
Yeah,
for not
it is.
remembering.
It's kind of crazy to think about it. But I played Pink the Kobold, a rogue, and part-time sorcerer. But we don't talk about that.
We don't talk about those levels in Sorcerer.
And we don't talk about the failure of multiclassing, which was my fault.
It's okay. To be honest, I should have been more on top of that. I was a little bit more hard on the rules than originally thought I would have.
Well, to be fair, I should have just played an arcane trickster. I don't know why I didn't do that.
What rogue subclass did you go with?
I did play Thief. Thief was very useful. I do
Oh
quite
yeah.
like the subclass.
Oh
Having
yeah.
use object on a bonus action,
The,
way more useful
the
than you think.
scaling, all the up buildings.
Yeah, like I feel like most people wouldn't give the subclass like a second look over, but it was actually quite good when I played it.
Oh yeah. Never look over Thief. It's always a good subclass. Yeah. Anything else you'd like to add to this introduction to your character?
He was pink and gay as shit. I don't know.
Wonderful. All right, up on my little thing here, Joseph, you're up next. Why don't you tell me who you played in Curse of Strahd?
Sure. I played Ezrin Dulinar, a Jamie Warlock, half drow.
Nice.
Smuggler before he came to, or before he came, but what found his way to Barovia, and Pretty much fucked up everything in most of his life, so tried to do one thing right and kept fucking failing. Yeah, that's pretty much that's pretty much Ezra in a nutshell.
Just to fuck up even when he wasn't trying to be.
Hey, look, eventually we got rid of the vampire lord, so I consider that as sort of doing something right.
That's true, but that's at the very end of the game, is it not?
Hey, look, eventually he did something right. You know, you listen here.
Wonderful, wonderful. Is there anything else you'd like to add, Joseph?
Yeah, there's an interesting bit of backstory that was covered when Adrian only had two of us show up, but we can get into that later because that was a fun session.
Interesting. We will be delving into that later. All right. Last but not least
Yes,
for
Madame Talk Show.
last but not least for tonight, Dave, would you introduce who you were playing in Curse of Strahd?
I played Arlen Kelfine, a high elf wizard blade singer. And that was my
Lovely.
first player character ever.
Really?
And I would highly recommend Blade Singers to anybody who will listen to me talk about D&D. As I thought it was a really fun blend of being able to get up in the mix and use like martial fighting as well as all the diversity and like creativity of spellcasting.
Oh,
So,
indeed,
Props,
indeed.
props to my boy Arlen, the Blade Singer. Oh, and he was a spoiled rich kid. It's a theme of mine.
Wonderful, wonderful. Is there anything else you'd like to add to that, Dave?
No, not yet.
Not yet. I would like to apologize. It seems I have neglected someone on my couch here. Adrian,
No, it's
why
fine.
don't
Don't
you
worry about
introduce
me.
yourself? Are you sure?
Yeah,
You were the DM.
Yeah, but like, what? I mean, I don't have a character, so I just thought like,
You
it is
were
just
all the
all
characters,
the
my
bad
friend.
guys,
Every
dude.
character.
Yeah, you don't have a character, you have hundreds.
That's what I'm saying. Like, what's a guy to do? How do I introduce all of Barovia, other than just all of Barovia? Hi, I'm.
We'll get there. We'll hit them all tonight.
We're not gonna hit them.
Every
We shouldn't hit them.
Yeah.
all. We don't have time.
No,
for that.
we don't have the
We've
time,
actually got
sadly.
an alphabetized list here.
Oh,
Yeah,
man.
perfect. Let's
Actually,
roll through them.
Let's see. Real quick, name a character, and I'll see if I can remember their voice. And it's probably just
Trash.
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 It was Trash.
Trash.
Kind of talked a little like high pitched and very excitable.
Oh.
I was just super happy to see somebody and learn all the new things, and it was a wonderful time.
Yeah, I think that was pretty much it.
Yeah.
Voice acting in action, distinguished guests.
Meh.
Sadly, one of the other players is not able to be here tonight.
A working
Not
man.
able to be here tonight.
Gosh,
J-
JD still does that in every conversation.
He does every single time.
2
Anytime
years
he
later.
has the opportunity to use the word not, he does.
So, like, out of curiosity, I've been wondering this since I first heard of the character. Did he base that off of not from Critical Role?
I
mean,
don't think so.
I don't
no.
know.
No, I don't think so.
That
I
I
think
think
that
was
even
before
doesn't that
that
even
was
predate that
revealed.
character?
I think it does.
Yeah.
I think not predates not.
I don't know.
That's very confusing.
But
Yeah,
yes,
it's a big notception.
Big notception. I don't remember race. I want to say half elf or not.
I believe he was a full elf.
Full elf.
Yeah.
No, that's right. Yeah, that's right. For those of you at home, Not was an elven twilight cleric, and from what I've heard, those twilight cleric abilities cause some trouble for the rest of the gang.
I think that was when Twilight was still like UA or something.
Oh, okay.
No,
Wasn't
the
it?
Twilight abilities were fine. It was my bullshit that that caused everyone to hate not being able to see anything.
Well, it was multiple things.
Darkness was the problem of our campaign.
Least favorite thing about
Yeah.
the campaign, playing Darkness, and then also Adrian saying, "You know what? I'm gonna do it a little different," and that was even worse. It was a bad idea. Just forget about it.
It's kind of a soft ban on the Darkness spell.
Yeah.
Well, at least like the darkness combo with Devil Sight.
Just because it's so fucking annoying. Like, can I see the enemy? Can I attack
No.
them? How do I know if I see them? It was just so fucking annoying.
Now, see, you all got annoyed. I saw it as an additional challenge. Unfortunately,
Yeah.
I believe I was alone in that particular fact.
I didn't hide my disdain for darkness.
But yes, the Twilight Cleric was only an issue to Adrian, who got annoyed that we were getting temp HP all the damn time and that he couldn't
Nah, I
charm
don't
us.
think the
That
temp
shit was
HP was
good.
It was. I just, it you know, with encounters, as me being like a newer DM, not new. I had been DMing for a while, but like balancing encounters and thinking I'm gonna kill my players, and I said that like every other encounter, and then no
Yes,
one
you
died.
did. Yes, you did.
I don't think anyone.
We go into a session. You guys need to be ready. Okay, this is
It
a
looked
big
hard on
one.
paper. I think I was just afraid of not being liked or something.
Also, you rolled like shit.
Yeah, you know what? There was that too.
Notorious Adrian rolls. Yeah.
And the challenge rating of monsters is a bunch of
A hooey.
nonsense. Yeah.
Oh yeah, challenge rating is not a thing.
Because like you're supposed to be able to take on like what 7 or 8 encounters a day or something like that. Something ridiculous.
Yeah,
Oh
yeah,
my god.
Yeah, it's weird.
yeah. That's maybe if you have a party of all marshals.
Yeah, maybe, dude. I have no idea.
Yeah, maybe if you're conserving your spell slots, maybe like
Yeah,
I
if you
don't
have, like,
know.
If you have like marshals or casters with cantrips or long-lasting spells, then probably.
But that's also taking into account that each adventuring day is supposed to include 2 short rests.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we took advantage of that. We had a warlock in our party.
Jeez.
Hi, how's it
I
going?
was getting tired of that. I'm like, everyone, we're taking a short rest on the base of this mountain as the bad guys are just like setting up, and I'm like, okay.
You're running out of time.
All right.
I think I started implementing more time
Yeah.
crunch on a lot of things because like otherwise you're just like I'm gonna take a little nappy nap and I'm gonna
Let's
be ready
rest.
to fight.
Yeah, let's take a little nappy nap, and the wizard gets back a bunch of spells, and I get back 2 5th level spells.
It was one of the like weirdest ones that I thought was like you can't be serious was when you're like, can we sleep in Strahd's castle? And I'm like,
I don't remember.
Short,
In the dungeons.
I wanted a short rest in there.
yeah,
Because
but,
I'm like-
everyone knows you're there. Like, you were just...
That's fine. We were in a secure location.
Yeah, okay. Strahd has already shown that he could go through walls, I think, at that point.
We'll be
He's just
fine.
gonna be like stabs your butt. Hey, wake up.
I mean, clearly we could have beat him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the audio I have of it is 4 hours and 45 minutes, which is one of our longer sessions, and I wanted to get a snippet of it, but I didn't have time to like look through it all. It's 4 hours and 45 minutes long.
4 hours and 45 minutes, folks. Hang on. Give me just a moment to compare that to the ending of our Dysonar game.
Oh,
I'm pretty sure Dysonar was longer.
Was Dysonar longer?
To be fair, Dysonar was always longer because I don't know how to manage campaign time with you shits.
with
That is
us,
extremely
that's
true.
your problem, not our problem.
It is. Oh yeah,
It is.
the dice.
I will say that it is both.
For folks at home, the ending of the Curse of Strahd campaign was 4 hours 45 minutes. Ending of the Dysonar campaign was 6 hours 32 minutes.
Jeez.
I don't.
Yeah.
It didn't
Okay,
feel
look,
like
that was supposed to be 2 sessions, and you shits decided to push ahead.
What? What? Then cut it off.
I literally said in the Dyson Nerd game, I'm like, hey, I kind of want to cut it off here, but like, and I literally left it to you guys, and everyone was like, no, let's push on. And I'm like,
I also think
Alright.
there was always I think it's gonna take 30 minutes more, and that took like an hour and a half more. Like
Yep.
the range was not in the ballpark.
okay, to be fair, it had been like
This is
2 or
turned
3
easily
years.
to Dyson Art.
My apologies. We will
look.
get back to Curse of Strahd after this.
Look, to be fair, it had been like 2 or 3 years since I had DM'd, and I had forgotten all my timing cheat sheets. Which, by the way, I found like a month afterward. I'm like, oh, great, this would have been useful 3 fucking months ago.
Alright.
Now that the
Alright,
shade has
but
been thrown.
getting back on topic, Adrian,
Yeah, what
was
up?
the Curse of Strahd game your first time running an online game?
Yeah. It was. It was
Yeah.
my first. It was supposed to be practice because I'm like, I don't know if I'm
Right.
good on this online. Like, do I command the same presence I do in person? And I don't know if I do have the same command, but I think I was more amicable and very willing to listen and go through the motions with every single player, that everyone was like cool with it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I have my doubts, but I think I definitely grew through this campaign for sure. Like,
Wonderful.
I think at the very beginning it was a lot of book holding, and then just saying hey, and then like my voice changed as when I'm reading flavor text. Like it's a different
Yep.
cadence altogether.
Yep.
But eventually I got better at what I was doing.
Wonderful.
I don't know. I think
I do remember feeling like there was a moment, a light switch, where Adrian kind of like gave himself the freedom to get out of the book a little bit. I do feel like I remember there being kind of like a moment, and there was Adrian kind of flowed better after he kind of let go of sticking to the book.
It might have been
100%.
after Valaki, to be honest.
Yeah, I think it was.
That was your first game, Joseph.
Yeah, maybe when we were trying to bring the people from I forget the name of the town, but the town that's like, is that the town of Barovia?
It's the village of Barovia. Yeah.
That one. Yeah. Yeah, like from the village to Valaki.
Also, as a dungeon master of Curse of Strahd as well, Valaki is like massive, and there's tons of stuff going on, tons of NPCs. It's a big piece to chew.
No,
Big.
sure.
Chew, whatever that expression is. Chew a piece.
Okay, I'm about to say. Okay, yeah. No, I appreciate the vote of confidence. I don't think. Here, I'm about to send you something.
Wonderful.
Do the last one first, and then the top middle.
I gotcha.
Okay.
So, I will throw this particular question out to everyone here. What was your favorite encounter in this game?
That's a tough question.
I think I know.
Well then.
Probably the hags. And I feel like maybe that's a little basic of an answer, because it's definitely designed probably to be like the best encounter. But that show was fun as fuck.
Yeah, Hags was a good one.
Oh yeah.
Like dealing with them casting spells off of each other and like all their shit was like, it was really intense.
And we had tried to sneak in and then sneak out. You know, there was like multiple. It wasn't
Yeah.
just straight combat. It was like,
Yeah.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah, that was a good encounter.
I do like what Shade posted in chat.
I didn't have Twitch open. What did it say?
When that guy from the Rando West Marches warped across dimensions into the campaign.
Oh,
Oh,
Yeah, my troublemaking shit.
Yeah, you continue to be the troublemaker, Joseph.
Oh, I really can't say anything.
Well,
Yeah, I
I mean,
really
you
can't
you
say
don't
shit
you
about
didn't
that.
last too long inside the.
hardly at all.
Yeah, you just zip.
No, but
I'm
No.
out.
no, it was basically like, huh, yeah, like I can either try to find my own way out of here, or I can give up something that like, or I can give up something that is very precious to me that I earned. Cool. Fuck you, vampire. I'm gonna be out skis. Bye.
My favorite encounter
Mhm.
was which encounter was it? It was the one where Arlen held the door against all the whites.
Yeah.
I think maybe that was the
Yeah, that was the
It was
bishop.
the Abbey.
The Abbey.
The abbot.
And it's my favorite because it's one of my favorite Arlen memories.
Because it was two
That one-
attacks, and like I think you only get hit once, but then you parried, and then it was nothing.
It was everything I could dream of. It was like, I'm gonna hold this door, you guys take care of the rest. So that was cool, like a little like hold the door moment. And
Hold the door.
then yeah, you had 8 whites that all had multi-attack and just couldn't touch the Blade Song wizard with his shield and Blade Song.
Dude,
Oh, I loved it
that
so
was
much.
that was incredible. Like it was absolute perfection.
Arlen
It
was
was really fun.
Arlen was
Oh,
a
yeah.
problem in retrospect. That AC was ridiculous.
Yeah, the ninja tank.
It's
Yeah.
the tank plus the Adrian's terrible rolls thing.
Yeah.
Like Arlen, as someone known for bullshit builds, the build of Arlen made me proud.
Nice. Nice. That's the highest compliment. Yeah, but that was mine just because it was really, really fun for playing Arlen in that encounter.
Wonderful, wonderful. Question is still open.
The abbot was probably my favorite as well, just because it was such a diverse like such a diverse battle that like there were distinctly multiple portions.
Mhm.
There was Arlen versus everything outside. And then the rest of us trying to take down the abbot while also uh dealing with the golem.
Frankenbride.
Yeah, Frankenbride. And like dealing with both of them, which realistically, like that was a problem for all of us, but the whites would have made it so much worse, and that and Arlen keeping them out was just perfect. Another one was the roadside ambush that we did, like at the very south when we first met Mira.
Oh, when they came through the portal.
Yeah, that one I really enjoyed.
And the Rock.
Okay,
Oh, boy.
I imagine I want an image commissioned of that rock battle. Because
Yeah.
you had some sort of like lightning effect in the background. I think Arlen had
Ooh.
passed out and someone had flown down, or I think it was Ezran flown down to catch him.
No, Ezran was the one who had passed out, and like it was when Ezran passed out that the lightning came in, because that was the whole thing with his patron.
Gotcha.
I think JJ jumped off a bridge or something onto the Rock
Yes.
at one point.
Yeah. JJ was the one who saved me because he had the Twilight Flight ability. So he saved me, and then just took the abbot's mace and went up and wrecked that rock.
Yeah, that was great. That was a good one.
That was so awesome.
And of course, there's the Strahd fight.
Oh, yeah.
Of course.
That was like
course.
I think we went 10 rounds. Adrian, does that sound
We
right?
Definitely did. Because it wasn't just like one. It was like mini combats before you got to Strahd, and then getting up to Strahd and fighting him mano a mano. And I
Ezrin got
always,
fucking wrecked.
I always think that I should have done something a little bit different. But I think I was so exhausted by the end of the fight because I wasn't
Yeah,
used to
10
anything.
rounds
Yeah,
is
you
a
were tired.
long combat.
Mhm.
Also,
Yeah.
Yeah, you were exhausted.
I just oof. I always feel like I'd be like, if I did Strahd again, I would do it so much differently. So many things I would do differently.
We will get to that, Adrian. Don't jump the gun.
All right.
Yep.
But the question is also open to you. What was
Oh,
your
yeah.
favorite encounter?
Okay, so I think there's two that come to mind. One was the undead, I think, fight where we had to introduce all the characters. Because once all the zombies had died, they all kind of came together to that big zombie or like bone dog thing that you guys had to fight, and that was like one of the first fights that I started to like, I can make this my own.
Yes, I remember that.
And it not just be like, oh, there's only 3 zombies, there's only this many skeletons or whatever, and I'm just like, I'm going to do it a little bit different my way, and then we'll see how things go from there.
A fire-breathing bone dog, if I
Yeah,
remember
yeah.
correctly. Yeah.
Lovely.
Yeah.
You know what was also a really good one? Now that we've pretty much talked about all of our encounters. There was one in the Amber Temple
That was
where
my second
Adrian
one.
just spam. Oh yeah, you said you had 2, huh? Go ahead.
Good. Go ahead, say it.
Yeah, Adrian just spammed monster after monster after monster at us, and they were all different monsters. Like,
It was
Ooh.
every
we
single
were at the-
monster in that fucking temple.
Yeah,
And
like,
I'm
we-
because
we-
somebody
we got to,
rung
like-
the bell essentially, and it would just like they flooded it.
Yeah, like we got to like the end of the dungeon or like the end room, and had left so much of it unexplored that Adrian's basically just like, okay, cool, everything converges.
yeah,
Because I felt like I kept seeing you guys like knock, 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 bam, like breach and clear every room, and I'm like, okay, you guys got this.
Yeah.
This is potatoes to you, okay? To be honest though, I think I like forgot about like a chunk of them every now and then because there were so many guys that I kept moving.
yeah. You had a lot of monsters in that combat. I was sitting there as like from the Dungeon Master perspective, like, dang, Adrian's juggling a lot of stat blocks right now.
Yes,
Yeah.
for sure. Yeah, you tend to forget things when you juggle so many of those.
Yeah, true.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Another one that I like because we're bringing up all the encounters.
Yep.
Back to the Strahd fight. Pink's betrayal was perfect.
Oopsie.
Absolutely perfectly done.
And I had to stretch to do that too.
That was
Yeah,
good.
dude, like that was.
You got like,
Like, you-
vampire charmed, right? Is that why that was happening?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
Well,
got
and-
charmed.
And also, like, you did the fog cloud to obscure our vision, and that would have been a red flag right away. But you played it off so brilliantly as a like, if he can't see down the hallway, he can't charm anyone because he can't see them. Yada yada yada, and like we were all just like, awesome, great tactical mind. Meanwhile, like behind the scenes, you're.
I think I think JJ had it, right?
Yeah, he had the idol.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I think I said, JJ, I just need you to roll like once or twice. And and then it was like, what for? I was like, I just need 2 rolls, please. All right. Then I think I've had that happen before where I just asked for rolls randomly. But yeah, I don't think I had anything to do where it was like behind perception. It was just for something for my fun, for me to figure out what I want to happen next.
So, for the
By the
audience
way,
at home, that moment is Pink stealing. What was it? The icon of Ravenloft, the idol. There's
Yeah,
2 different items.
Yeah.
The little statuette thing.
The statuette thing off of another player because they were charmed by the vampire, and then handing it over to Strahd. Here you go, boss. This is for you.
And then he reached through the wall and dropped it outside,
Yeah, Adrian
essentially
has Strahd go.
removing it from the fight.
Yeah,
Mhm.
so great. And weren't we up in the
Yeah.
like spires?
Oh
too?
yeah,
Mhm.
we were in the boss room.
Yeah, so cool.
And
Which
we were
one?
like, we've got this thing now. We've got the upper hand on him
Yeah,
because
we're
we
just
have
like,
this.
we have all the items, we have all the things. We're gonna beat your Pink. What are you doing?
Yeah.
But by the way, on the note of the unknown roles, that is something that I like. That, in my opinion, like most DMs should do, at least sometimes to the point that it's not uncommon. Like just ask for a role. Don't tell the players what it is. 90% of the time, it's probably nothing. But then that 10% of the time, you can really fuck with them.
I can't remember that much. Mine's always like, how many items do I want to encounter? I need like somebody else's perception on this. Someone throw me a d20. 18. My body's feeling towards it because of the 18. Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it.
Yeah, I mean, like just asking your players for like roll a d20 and not telling them what it's for, is always fun because if you do it at least semi often with with very small meanings, then every now and then it's like, okay, now we can like every now and then you can have a situation where you can really fuck with them, and that's always fun.
Lovely, lovely. Do we have any more additions for this question?
No, I think we've covered most of our most of the combats. So.
There's still a lot, but
Oh, the
Campaign's long,
Wizards of the
yeah.
Winds battle with the giant trees.
Yeah.
That one was pretty interesting because like they had the gems that were animating them.
hmm That was the combat where we learned mages shouldn't be in the front line.
yeah. Collectively, we all figured that out that day.
That's also the day where I decided to boost Esmond's constitution to the fucking sky.
Ah.
Gosh. R.I.P. Should we just talk about it?
You
I don't
ready
know
to
about-
open up the problem player box?
Yeah. I mean, I'm okay because I think we might cross it again. So I think if we just talk about it now, we can just throw it out there into the ether.
I'm so ready to go.
Lies? I don't know.
Good.
Let's go ahead then. For all the folks at home,
Yes, for all the players at home.
for all the players at home, there was at one point another player in the Curse of Strahd game who didn't quite vibe with the party. Now, I personally know a little. I don't know everything, so I am going to take even more of a back seat here and let y'all just talk over this. So, Adrian, if you would.
All right, we're just gonna call him Sard as the character name. We're not gonna name names other than that. But it was just like a difficult player that we couldn't cohesively bring into the group because they would just walk off on their own. And everyone had their time to do their own thing. Like Pink on reconnaissance, Arlen talking to Tresh by himself, Ezrin just kind of like moping around sometimes about like what's going on, my future, where's the girl,
Also scouting.
Yeah, scouting. So people had their time
Noctis.
in Noctis. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I was just giving some love to Noctis. I forgot about Noctis.
Oh yeah.
I miss my little suited dragon buddy. He was so fun.
But there was one character that just kind of took advantage of that to like develop a lot more and just not that, but there was very few times that player would interact with the party in a positive manner.
Yeah.
And it was in game and out of game that we had to have that conversation. Like we were like, okay, maybe it's just a character flaw, so we kind of like try to fix it in game. And even though we attempted to kind of incorporate that person into the game, it just felt like it wasn't happening. It would always seem to be like I just had to ban people, like players making fun of other players, because it just kind of got tiresome, and it just felt like you're lashing out to that person in real life at one point, and it was just getting it was dumb. Like I wanted to make this group to be cohesive. It's so that.
What was your phrase? Splash damage, right?
Yeah, splash damage.
Yeah, that
Explain splash damage. I like that.
Okay, so splash damage is my explanation of how like your negative comment to another, PC player character is going to affect the player itself. These players have put a lot of time into these characters that, and like parts of them, like even if they subconsciously, that if you insult this player character, some of its residual like beratement is gonna bleed into the player, just splash onto them. So even if you think you're just we're just like vibing and we're just kind of being mean to each other for fun, we need to make sure that it doesn't go overboard where it becomes, it feels like it's a personal attack. So that's why I kind of called it splash damage. I think I made sure, like, the thing was, like, that player was, like, the only one that I had to worry about. Like, there was sometimes I had to check in to make sure everyone's all right. But, like, post-game, we had, like, mini conversations. One of them was, like, 2 hours long after a game. Just trying to get this player to, like, work with us and, like, understand how we're going about this game. It just, at the end, they said some nasty things about themselves, and, trigger warning, talked about kind of like some dark shit. Connect the dots if you want to, but after that, it was just done. Like, I was like already like, you got like one more session or you got 2 more sessions before I decide like this is not gonna work out. But I think we spent time with like 6 months or so. Maybe.
Yeah, like we tried to make it work. We got a lot of sessions in with Sard in our party. Like, it wasn't for lack of effort.
And in the end, like the session after that, after not knowing what a game felt like without having to have a conversation afterwards, it was so easy.
It felt so good.
Oh yeah, it was.
That was D&D.
Yeah. How do you feel, Adrian, if we're gonna open this up?
Sure, go ahead.
You killed his character, right? We were kind of having issues with this player, and their decisions led to it for sure.
Yeah.
But like, did you regret killing the character? Because that kind of was like the final, straw. I feel like.
I don't.
Nail in the coffin.
No, I don't.
Yeah.
I rolled like every other monster.
Right.
I gave them the chance. You told them to be wary, and you know this was like, it was like the second death too. I think. That this character had. So it wasn't like that was the first time I killed the player. The player wanted more power. I gave them power and a lethal amount of damage, if they use that power. And out of game said, I don't think you can do anything to power up my character that I'd be satisfied with. And I was just like done with accommodating this player.
Yeah, I forgot about that. There was a lot of accommodating going on.
Yeah.
Forgot about that.
Yeah, and that was the thing, like, because I had to be so accommodating, like, my character's not as powerful. My character is this. My character
sorcerers suck.
Yeah.
And why did you play one?
Also, I played a sorcerer now. Sorcerer's fine.
Yeah.
Sorcerers play differently than pretty much everything else, but that's true of every single class.
It's
like
all
each one plays differently. If you try to play a sorcerer, like a fighter or a wizard, it's gonna you're gonna be disappointed.
The melee sorcerer, we're very familiar.
Okay, to be fair, that I have actually played and it is really fun. But
must have been a different build then.
Oh, very. It
must have been a build that emitted light.
It was a very different build because it actually, I don't know, made sense.
This is going to turn into be very therapeutic for us.
I think We beat
Welcome to talk show therapy.
I didn't have a problem with what I did. Okay.
Okay, I was always curious.
No, it's all good.
Nor should you have had a problem. With
I didn't think you should, but I was curious if you put it on yourself.
Oh no. I the thing that I put on myself after that incident was that I let it go for so long. Because part of me was always like, we have a breakthrough. I think it'll be fine. And the next session it wasn't fine.
Right.
And it just felt like you
were a bit optimistic.
Not only did I do the work to try to put in by being accommodating and having conversations, y'all too were also like having to talk with this person as well.
Yeah.
So it was just tough. So that was the main thing I worried. I mean, it's been years now, I think. So like part of me is like, once it was done, it was like, I think I don't hold that burden of like feeling like I let it on too long, because like we're on a different game. We did like too many campaigns and we're doing this big one, and it's like, okay, we're doing fine now.
Yep.
Yeah. Now we got Paige asking for too much stuff.
Yeah. Gosh. One problem out, another one in.
My sincerest apologies to you all.
Page too nice.
Just kidding. If I have to say it, just kidding.
Oh, you're good.
Paige, we
There's
love you. Don't ever leave us.
No worries. I adore this group. The only problem I currently have is that I'm not playing a healer.
Yeah, I'll do respect, Paige. As much as you try to be, you are, or like as much as you play other characters, you try to be a one-trick pony.
Yeah. Right. Is there anything else we want to add to the conversation of Sard before we get on to our next question?
I will say that Sard's character was there for between the time of after Vallaki exit and then up into the Amber Temple. So there might be a time where we have to reference Sard, but it probably won't happen.
Okay.
But yeah, I think that unfortunately that was the only person I killed. Right? Did I kill Ezrin at the last battle?
You killed me, but not brought me back.
Yeah. Okay.
And you killed familiars ruthlessly.
You know what?
Yeah.
Those little shits cost 150. Okay, I don't care. Or 15. I don't
Y'all
know.
were very annoying with
They
those.
cost 10 gold.
Listen.
Incense, a lot of incense.
Yeah,
A lot of me just like I don't want to worry about another person on initiative. Just okay.
and more importantly, you killed Noctis a bunch of times where I didn't even know what the hell killed him.
I
Yeah.
like that part though.
Yeah. I did get to the point in our campaign where I was rooting for Adrian to kill one of us.
Oh yeah, same. Like I had like 3 backup characters over the course of the campaign
What?
of like at like different stages.
I think
And I'm
after
just like,
Amber Temple, you guys had enough resources to bring y'all's selves back, but also like I didn't want because that was in game. I didn't want to bring another character in. I would have.
Oh yeah, that would have been.
It would have
Oh,
been
yeah.
weird. I
Yeah,
would
it
have
would've been
asked
weird.
you to pilot like an NPC and buff it up or something. Like
Yeah.
Oh,
have
yeah.
the
Oh, yeah,
spirit
that-
of another character or something like that to boost you, and then you just stat it whatever you like. But
Yeah.
to shoehorn like I dropped. I think we had only one other iteration of needing another player, and that was when I dropped like 3 other players into the game, all at once.
And you dropped Simi into the Death House.
Yes, Death House.
Yeah.
Send me Death House first, I think.
Mm-hmm. Death House is right out of the get-go.
Yeah, pretty much. Oh, may I take over for a second and talk about some stuff?
Certainly.
All right, I have the player applications in front of me.
Oh god.
I have first person up was Quinn. Was the first person who asked, and that
Wow.
filled in with all the slots. And then we had one of the first players who left. I think roughly after Vallaki was Daryl.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was he. I lined up wolves and he fucking killed them all. That
I was
me.
just about to say he was the wolf
right.
guy, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And left out of the blue too. Like just was just like I have to drop by.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
total surprise.
It was weird. I think also because like, I think he also wanted me to keep posting not only on Discord but on Roll20
Roll
and
20
Discord.
itself. Yes, I remember that. I remember that. I think coming from the oldest guy in the group, he was a total boomer.
I can
He
tell
did
you
sound
with that
older.
age that he's given me. Yeah. Then after that was, oh wow, I
I
think
think
there
that's
was.
pretty late.
Yeah, because after I stopped, I said anyone else below this mentioned will not be considered. Anyone not invited will be on a short list if something comes up. So apparently there's 20 other people in between my first post and that, but they're all gone from this post for some reason.
So what you say? You had 40 applicants? Is that what you said?
Yes, I have that sheet as well.
Yeah.
On
Which
the-
wild, by the way.
Yes,
That's a lot.
I have a whole Google sheet of everyone's name, and let's see, JJ. Let's see, I have Dave as number 4. I don't. Oh wait, I'm looking for Pink. JJ as number 18. That was in group 2. So even I messaged so many people and nobody responded. Like the next, so
That's so weird.
yeah, like I have a list of people who responded and who didn't. And a lot of people were just like, I can't, sorry. Or one person was asking me, does anyone know like League of Legends lore and shit? And he was like, can we play a game that's in like the little Yordle town? And I'm like, we're playing Curse of Strahd. It's like, I'm sorry. It's on the message. But yeah, I don't, you know what? I don't even see, oh, there's Pink right there.
You ever think how it's crazy how we all
Barbarian
ended
Fighter,
up?
what the hell?
What was that? What I was originally?
Yes.
What was I gonna play? Maybe.
You were gonna play beat 'em up.
Or that's because all I knew how to play. So that was
I had
technically.
some notes. Some people wanted to play Blood Hunter. One wanted to do a homebrew pugilist, and I just didn't know what the hell it is. Look into ASMR. I was like, I don't know who these people are. I'm new to D&D. Let's see.
Yeah.
Dave, always a wizard, right there.
Does it literally say always?
No, it just says wizard.
Oh.
What
What class do you want to play? Always a wizard.
Always, buddy. I got a letter from this place called Hogwarts.
Did I just make a really loud noise?
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
good.
Cleric
Hey,
Bard
bud.
for JJ, and then after that, I
Honestly,
don't
that
think
works.
I listed anything after that.
Hard.
JJ wanted 4 to 6 hours
Per session?
per session.
Damn.
I'm like, what the fuck, guy? Like, I don't know if I can do that.
What did I say?
You said 3 to 4.
Okay.
Yeah. Everybody else was like 3 or 3 to 4. I'm like, okay, that's nice. I'm okay with that. Man, I guess it was like the beginning of the pandemic too, so it was just like,
It was.
I
Yeah,
got
we had the
time.
Yeah,
It was.
we were pandemic gamers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we were originally a Wednesday game, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh
that's right.
yeah.
Oh shit!
That was weird. Now that I think about it, we had ties, so it's not that weird. But like now it's like
Starting in the middle of the week sounds so weird.
And then I
wife
have
preferred
everyone's message I directly sent because like after the first Q&A, which was just like
Fill out this form.
age, experience, preferred class, preferred length of session, I went to, okay, hey, for applying, here are some questions and information about the game. And then, do you have any previous playing time with Curse of Strahd? Alignment, do you plan on playing? Which I don't think I really cared, to be honest. I told, this one's to Joseph. So it just says, we have 4 players currently. Here are their roles. One player doesn't talk, but we try to include her as best as we can.
Nice.
And then any questions for me.
Did I lie? Did I say I was familiar with Curse of Strahd? I don't remember.
Let's see. I can go check real quick.
Because I dungeon mastered Curse of Strahd. Like
I think you.
I think
feel like
I
you
think I
already-
wrapped as we started our game. I had finished.
Dang.
Right.
Crazy that you
I
would
think
just
you were
jump back in.
Talking about how like you were very familiar with it, but you were just pretending you weren't. I think that's like what you were saying.
Like I was open about it.
Yeah, I think you were open about it. You were just saying like, oh, like I'm pretending.
Yeah, and like you were talking about how much how you liked how Adrian diverted from.
Yeah,
Because it kept me not knowing.
Hmm.
I don't see your application. You didn't have a different name, right?
No.
I don't even have Pinks in here.
Because I was having trouble finding a game because I was trying not to do Curse of Strahd because I just dungeon mastered it. So
Yep.
I think I'd been applying to a bunch of Roll20, and I was like, oh, nobody wants the old teacher in their games. And so I'm curious if I lied about having experienced Curse of Strahd or not.
See, I don't have yours up here. I have like some old messages.
That's because I deleted the evidence. Boom.
Yeah, I think everything else. Oh yeah. Yeah, I don't have anything. I just have Joseph's old message. I wonder if
Which, by the way, was Ezrin my or like the build of Ezrin, was that the original thing that I proposed, or I do not remember.
Ooh, I found out I archived a lot of messages. I'm moving JJ's and Dave's. I think there's so many messages. I just decided to put some stuff back. Just put it away so I didn't have to worry about it. Yeah, I'm like, where's Paige? Oh, Paige, I didn't.
Yeah. So that is interesting to me that I never got an application.
It's
Well, I
never
already
too
played with
late.
you, Paige.
Still, I just find it a little funny.
Yeah, what better of an application?
Yeah.
Haven't played.
All right, here's
Hey.
Dave's. Oh gosh, Dave got the whole Shazam.
Yeah,
Thank
it
you
was
for
a full-on
responding to the
two-part
cause of
interview.
arms. I have some follow-up questions just to put you in a cohesive group. This is hopefully enhance your playing experience during your potential time together as players. What kind of DM are you looking for? What is your play style? What alignment are you currently considering? And then I had like split up to new players and veterans. How strict or loose with the rules? How well do you work with new players? Would you prefer to play exclusive with individuals of similar skill levels? Do you have any questions for me? And then thank you. This will help me figure out where I can start grouping people.
Yeah, I remember this because I remember being like, I need a 2-part interview to get into a D&D game.
This was my first game, and I just like, I had so many yeses, and then like I'm like, I had no yeses, and then all of a sudden I want to play now. So I asked a bunch of other people, and then people start petering in, and I'm like, what the hell, man?
Yep.
I just need a couple.
Well, I obviously, for being random strangers on the internet, and we're playing 3-4 years later, your 2-part interview process probably was a good thing, right? Like,
Yeah.
like I think that's a huge factor in how the group got put together and why it worked.
Yeah,
Did you find it though? Did I lie?
I'm trying to figure out. I guess I would have to go to. I didn't see your player thing. This is
So
your
me-
player questions, but I don't.
Oh,
I'm trying to
okay.
find your application.
It's all right. Don't worry about it. I think I
Experience 2
probably.
years primarily as a DM. There we go. You
But
didn't
that's
lie.
all he said.
Yeah.
But I didn't say anything about Crystal Strahd.
I don't think so. I don't think. No, you did. That was your 2 years. With just DMing.
Wow.
That was it. Yeah, the 2 years of DMs was Crystal Strahd.
Good work on your deception check there, Dave.
That's
No,
hilarious.
but Dave definitely brought it up, though.
Yeah,
Okay.
but after I was accepted into the game.
Yeah.
Just be like, hey, I know this game.
Yeah.
Let me look.
Can I tell a story?
Go ahead. I'm looking at other stuff. Go ahead.
Because we're talking about dungeon mastering this before, one of my favorite moments was being a player in Adrian's game as we're approaching a cart full of explosive alchemist fire.
Oh
and
yeah.
I know this 100%. I know that this is
Oh right.
full
you
of
little
alchemist
shit.
fire. And the whole mission is right, like not to play with the knowledge you don't have. So I stand my little my little wimpy wizard right next to this cart as I silently just go completely muted as my party members are trying to like lockpick and like drill into this cart that I know could explode at any moment. And I was like, I can't move my token. I'm here. I gotta just let it ride.
Well, actually, weren't you trying to figure out how to open the door to the tower?
No, I went completely silent. I just
think
stuck my token where in the blast radius and just turned off.
Because you motherfucker, I was the one who was inside of there.
Yeah, you were doing some crazy stuff. You were trying to
I was
put out fire by like. I just remember whatever shenanigans we were trying to do to keep it from blowing up. I was like, this is not gonna go well.
Yeah, but it worked.
It did work.
Okay.
Oh man.
I have a message that I want to kind of put Quinn on blast real quick.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Please.
Absolutely.
Quinn asked me this question because I had no idea what Critical Role was. When I put my
I'm gonna
and so when I ask any questions like any insight of what kind of DM you are would be great. I noticed you have a profile picture of Matt Mercer, so I assume you're into Critical Role. And then I had to say, I just found it on the internet and I thought it looked cool.
it was like straight up Matt Mercer.
Yeah, it was like, wow, this guy's sick. I had no like inkling what Critical Role was before like you guys kept talking about it.
That's hilarious.
So yeah, I kind of I think Quinn was like told me prior was like I was trying to suck up. Like I was trying to like try to get in this fucking game.
Nice. Yeah, you gotta do what you gotta do. Cheat and steal.
I had applied to a couple different games like just before this one, but like got no responses. So I was just like, and this was like my first big break back into D&D after a horrible experience with that. So I was just like, I really hope I get into this game. Like I want to try D&D. Like I really want to get into it. And I don't know, something about Adrian's like double like interview thing. I was just like, oh, this seems real. Like it seems like legit. I was like,
Thank you.
This is the real thing. I'm like, I gotta get into this.
This is real D&D.
Yeah. An interview? Oh my goodness.
Gosh.
Yep.
And you know, see, here's like I've been thinking about this as well. Was like we've been playing for so long past the game, you know, and I've been thinking like, was it just because like I got lucky to be looking at Roll20 while like we hit the pandemic and then everyone was like, what do we fucking do now? Like if influx of players, but then also everybody was like, we have players coast to coast, okay, and somehow we managed to get us to all agree on 3 hours a week to play this game, and I thought it was crazy. Like also we almost lost JJ.
Yeah.
Ooh.
That's why we switched to Friday.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's the main reason.
Yeah, because I remember for like a few, for like, what was it, like a month and a half, he's just like before that, he's like, hey, I might have to step away soon. And like, I remember for a while, he wouldn't really tell us why, only that like he said like his schedule was changing, but didn't say why. And then eventually, like, through the talking, it was like, well, I think it was that he didn't want to be in imposition. And he's like, I wouldn't want you guys to have to change your schedule. And all of us were just like, dude, if we can keep you in the game, we're fine changing it.
Yep.
Yeah.
We're fine changing the time.
I wasn't doing anything with my Friday nights anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah,
My wife was like, "You're doing what?"
Everybody.
See, so all it cost us to change our times to Friday nights was Dave getting yelled at, and I
Yeah.
think that's a worthy price.
Yeah, you're welcome, everybody. You're welcome.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you for your sacrifice, Dave.
All right, what's next? I got
All right.
bullet points on my
All
notebook.
right. All right.
Nice.
So, are we good to move on to the next question, Adrian?
Yeah, I'm just looking for Ezrin's original build. Or
All
sorry.
right.
It might have been something that we discussed in direct messages.
Yeah.
It's Warlock.
It's a warlock. It's warlock or nothing.
No, like I remember that I brought up because Genie Warlock was Unearthed Arcana at the time, and I'm like,
There
hey,
you go. I found it.
I-
The only two
Yeah,
questions I have is how you feel about using UA content, and I would be allowed to play a warlock, specifically the genie patron. If it's and no, that's quite all right. I have other back stories, namely of the Archfey patron. If warlocks aren't allowed, I have plenty of other characters to play. I'm like,
I was doing my best to be like a very malleable player.
You had
then
your vision,
I
though. You
tell
had your
Joseph, yes, sorry, I have filled the positions. My
Oh yeah,
apologies,
yeah,
and
that I remember. And then
Really?
oh no, and then you guys had a player drop out on the
Mhm.
day of the session.
Yeah,
And I had
to create my character.
Was
I
it
had
the
to create
range?
my
Yeah,
character.
June 12th was when I
Paladin.
told you it was dropped, and then Joseph was like, June 13th, no worries if you have player drop, and then June 16th, hey, I have player drop.
Yeah, and then June 17th, like I think you had sent that like late at night, and then June 17th, I'd love to. Would I join in tonight? Yeah, and you're like only if you have the time. And so like everything happened within a matter of hours. And I remember as the session started, I'm still filling out my character sheet.
Damn, we almost didn't have Joseph. I didn't even remember that.
Damn.
Yeah, that one person hadn't dropped out. Then this. I would not have met you guys. I wouldn't have met anyone in Skylar's West Marches. I wouldn't have met Paige.
Yep.
Yeah.
That shit crazy.
man.
Honestly, a pretty good chance I wouldn't be here tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah, and just think, Marnie in the West Marches would still have all her memories.
Ezrin would still be alive. Maybe. I'm not salty.
I mean,
you're salty.
Ezrin is alive. He's just
Ezrin had bullshit
dead.
alive. I will say that.
Ezrin was
Not Ezrin,
like
sorry.
full.
Aneris would have been alive. My bad. I fucked up.
Oh yeah.
There you
Yeah.
go.
Aneris. Yeah, about that.
Focus, everybody. Focus.
Focus.
I cast Dispel Tangent.
Oh, I like that. I might use that on my students.
Good old Dispel Tangent, my favorite spell. Alrighty, so next question, again, open to the floor. So what was everyone's favorite part of the character of Strahd? And what did you think could be improved?
I've got it. He was a
Go.
part-time cowboy.
hey, no, I figured out
Hey,
what
y'all.
was that.
Y'all,
Hey,
y'all
y'all.
are gonna face my wrath. Y'all,
y'all, welcome to the castle.
welcome.
Oh yeah,
to
that
my
was
domain, y'all.
Next time, I'm just gonna have Strahd in a Western theme, so that way my y'alls just fucking sound.
Welcome to Barovia, you fuckers.
The crazy thing is you don't even really say y'all anymore. Like, what happened? What happened between that time period, and why was it so
I think I
strong
was
back then?
bullied. I think I was bullied.
No.
Welcome to my castle. You best be wearing irons.
Yep.
I used to hang out with only Texans, and then I got into this group, and then we got
We bully
California,
the y'all out of you.
Florida.
Hey man, I accept my stupidity.
Gosh.
If I remember correctly,
Mhm.
it is sometimes hard to me because my Curse of Strahd campaigns bleed into each other.
Yes.
But I believe, Adrian, you played Strahd as a little bit unhinged, which I really liked.
Ooh, when I slapped Sart's face into the fucking
You were like
table.
he
Oh
was
my
like quick to
God.
anger, like he wasn't this cold,
Yeah.
calculated all the time. A lot of times he was,
Yeah.
but every now and then Strahd would just freaking lose it, or kind of like we were doing this before Kylo Ren was, you know.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
And
Where's my
that
residual?
I think, yeah. Where's it at? I think that was my favorite way that you did Strahd. Because I was sitting there having played Strahd before, and I was like, oh, I like that. That's juicy.
Yeah. Yeah, that was definitely one. I also liked how you played him where it felt like everything was a bargain. Like when I forget her name, but Ismark's sister, like the one that he was
Irina.
Irina, thank you.
Oh yeah. I was
Like
oh,
how
that's Ismark's
how
sister.
most of us were like how most of us were away from the party at one point with just Irina and Semi back at, or Irina and May back at the cart, and Strahd came down and was like, I can either kill everyone or you can come with me.
Mhm.
And realistically, and I remember Irina looking to May as like a, what do I do? So that entire thing was up to May.
Yeah, that was good.
She had a
Like-
lot of things like that. A lot of moral dilemmas.
Mm-hmm.
Well, to be fair, the
Give
barbarian
the
was
youngest of our players
the-
moral dilemmas.
also I just love I love the out of context nature that we can now officially say that for the party of workshopping it, the barbarian was the moral compass.
Yeah, true. True.
We can officially we can say that truthfully out
Well-
of context, and people will give us looks like, I'm sorry, what the hell?
Yep, true statement.
Except for that one time.
Yeah, there was that one killing of the child.
You knew exactly what I was about to say. Yeah, I was like, are we really about to let this happen? How is this going on for so long? I feel like the answer's obvious. No way. And then it happened. I was like, oh.
That was with the hags, right?
Yeah.
It was like
Was
the
it?
kid,
Oh,
or
man.
was it? Or
Yes.
is it gonna be Drake? I think.
It was that
kid
werewolf,
or
yeah.
Yeah, the werewolf.
guy. And
Yeah,
the
yeah,
hag
like, she
cast
had-
lightning bolt, and
Yeah, if
May had the option to block it.
Mhm.
but only for one of the two, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And she didn't choose the child, and we're all like,
She
Yeah.
chose the werewolf.
I was
What?
stunned. And
Yeah, all of us were like,
really mulling it over for a while. I was like, I feel like the answer's pretty obvious.
I remember she was mulling it over so long that Adrian was came in and was like, if you don't make a decision, I'm gonna have to say that May is like stunned and doesn't protect either.
Mhm. Yeah, I can see that. But other than that, moral compass for sure.
Sometimes you
Yeah,
need to figure out where South isn't, and then you can figure out where it is. Okay.
Oh man, that was
All right. Anything
But-
else on Strahd as a character that you
What did he do?
did like or didn't like, or could be improved on? And that's what I meant. Because
Like
I have my own ideas of what I could have done better, or what I liked.
I mean, Strahd definitely switched accents a lot more than I thought he would.
Oh my god, I'm just the worst.
Yeah, I do it too. I am right there with you.
So this is just me coming in as an outsider.
Yes.
I kind of feel like that fits for Strahd.
Okay.
He's a manipulator. He's the one pulling the puppet strings. It makes sense that he, in essence, wouldn't have a true voice.
I buy what you're selling.
Same.
Yeah, that's why I did it. That's why.
want-
Smart, Adrian, smart.
I'm gonna
Hey
raise
man,
that.
playing the long game.
Exactly. He's the one giving voice to everything in Barovia. So giving him his own voice could go like completely wrong, if you get what I'm saying. So the
Mhm.
idea of him having sort of like every voice makes perfect sense.
I'm putting that in my
Yeah,
next Strahd game.
Take it.
Take it.
Adrian playing the game so long, even he didn't see the ending.
That's right.
Well, exactly. We just needed an outsider to see the big picture.
Yep, yep.
Okay, if it was up to me, and you guys can shoot this idea down, I
Okay.
think Strahd should have come
Shut
around
down.
a little bit more for sure.
Should have what more?
Came around.
Yeah, because we only saw him
Ew.
we saw him at the Abbey, we saw him at the when he took Irina.
At dinner.
We
Yeah.
saw him in Tresh's shop.
Oh my
Which
gosh!
that
I forgot
one
about
was
interesting.
That was crazy.
That was that was the
That
card.
was-
The card.
That was the
thing.
garlic. That was the garlic.
Oh, and the
Oh,
garlic and the
yeah.
card. Yeah, that's right. Mm-hmm.
I had been
Dang, I
holding on
forgot
to
about
that
that.
one for a little bit, I think. Weaponizing gun. I didn't think it was gonna work.
I think he just sneezed. I don't think it was like too bad. I think he just like allergic.
Well, no, like you said that he was like blinded for a moment.
It's dust. It's gonna blind you. Just-
I mean, but still, pocket garlic.
What would it have looked like if Strahd showed up at the Amber Temple?
Ooh. See,
We would all be dead.
I never. Okay. And most things I did on the fly, anyways. I would have seen Strahd kill someone. If my experience with y'all today, and I know you would have been okay on how like things are, because like you guys have changed in this new campaign multiple characters, so I feel comfortable now that I understand that you guys are a little bit more flexible than I. You know, in my mind, I'm like, it's got to be the core party. It's got to be the core party. Now that I know that you guys can, like, hey man, I got so many fucking ideas. I just gotta, I want to try things out.
I would like to say I told you that from the beginning.
I
I'm
know,
like,
I
if
didn't
you
believe
kill
you,
my
though.
character, I don't
believe
care.
you.
Like, yeah, I'm just like,
I didn't
if
want
you
anyone
kill my
to hate
character,
me.
that's. I'm like, if you kill my character, that's okay. That's how the game goes. I have others that I can bring in.
I would have put somebody in a tomb for sure. I would have killed somebody there, and I would have taken the Lich and used him for something.
Oh,
that would have been devious.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, Lich was Grandpa.
Hey, how's it going?
Lich was so far gone, and there is a Lich in the game. He has, I think he's just like very old and forgetful. But
There's memory problems.
Yes, yes. But because it wasn't Lich and everyone shoots, the Lich didn't do anything.
Mm-hmm.
So that just kind of hung around. If Strahd would have like done something like something magical to like recover memories, the Lich would have done like fucking terrible things.
That would have been cool too.
Yeah.
I think the module does say you should have Strahd show up a lot. That's a key thing. But you just listed like 4 different instances. That's a decent amount of Strahd showing up.
And they were like notable and effective instances. They weren't just like he appears on this no-name road.
He's
here.
a
figure
Abbey
watching
to find
from the
his
mountain.
faux wife. And then he showed up to where else did he show up? Oh, to get his real wife, Irina, right outside the.
And that was a very cool moment.
Yeah.
Yes.
Tresh's shop was after we ran away from dinner.
Oh yeah.
Oh, and then he showed
And,
up outside of the gray. It's not Gray Skull. It's that fucking castle where you found the ghost.
Argynvost Holt.
There we go. He showed up and he talked to Arlen, I think.
Yeah.
Yes, that's right. Yes, that's right. Yeah, I think you had Strahd show up a good amount.
Maybe I'm just not remembering right.
yeah, he showed up a good amount.
I think I should have killed somebody with Strahd earlier, is what I think.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, however, it has to happen naturally.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like I had Strahd kill a party member like very early on, but it was a situation where it felt like they were destined to die. There was nothing anybody could do. That person was going to die, and I don't think it felt right.
Really?
Oh.
All right. So that was my thing.
I mean,
that I can improve. But yeah, I'm glad that Strahd was memorable. So
I will also say you give us a bunch of magic items in Death House, and then you have Strahd take away our magic items. And when I had to delete stuff from my inventory, I was like, I've never hated a villain more.
That was some great inspiration.
Oh no!
Yes.
Now I see why Arlen hated him so much more than Ezran did. Ezran never had the magic items to begin with.
Right. Yes. That was the precursor to Dark Anakin Arlen.
Darkland.
Mhm.
Gosh, hold up. Let me see if this is not a question I sent to Paige real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, the next one is what did Adrian do well and what could Adrian do better?
You're just gonna ask it for me? All right.
Sorry.
Oh, when did we
No,
change talk show
hold
host?
up. It's
Yeah.
hey, I'm supposed to be the funny guy that stands next to the host. Hey, that's funny that you did that.
Like the color commentator or whatever.
Yeah, pretty
Oh,
much. The person in jazz band or the God, who's Conan's right
The
hand?
Andy Richter.
Yeah. Sorry,
But
that never happened.
no.
It's getting deleted out of the edit.
No worries. Do we have anything else to add to the topic of Strahd?
Justice Strahd was awesome, and I'm really glad he's dead.
Hey y'all.
Thanks, Quinn.
Hey y'all.
I-
Welcome to dinner,
I-
y'all.
I might actually have something to add here as well. Again, as a complete outsider to Curse of Strahd, I know very little about the game, very little about the character. I like the idea of him not just being the puppet master, but also kind of being the director, like in a play. So it's when things are really, really going wrong for him that he shows up and he sets things right back into the way the play is supposed to go. So him showing up is always supposed to be a big thing. It's not something that you just pull out of a hat. It's something that's meant to have impact.
That's almost straight out of the module page. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
For a long time, the adventures are just there to be his entertainment. He is the
Exactly.
cat playing with the mouse. That's exactly what you just described.
Oh, wow.
It's interesting finding out, like, playing through it. Like, he really does have his hand in everything too.
Yeah.
Like, even in some of the villains you think would be more neutral, he does have them in the palm
Oh,
of his
yeah.
hand.
Oh yeah, he has everyone wrapped around his finger. Alrighty. Well, next question. So, this is kind of the big one. What do you all think that Adrian did really well? What do you think that they could have done better?
Wow, that question sounds really familiar.
I don't know what you're talking about. Thank you,
It
Paige,
must
for
be
asking this
some sort of
question.
specter. Of course, of course.
Very insightful question. Thank you.
Well, first off, I just want to say that Adrian's voice work is legendary.
I'm getting mixed messages here.
Yeah, I'm feeling the same thing.
No, that's just me with my friend. No,
And don't forget
but,
the shrimp drawings.
I wonder if I have that.
Do we
At
want
some-
to?
at some point, I'm pretty sure JJ like made his color match Adrian's just to blame it on Adrian, if I remember
Oh,
right.
that's hilarious. I could totally see that.
Do we want to
Uh,
explain shrimps
yeah,
for the
we
people
should.
at home?
We should. Adrian, I think this is fair to say, prides himself as like a low preparation DM or GM. I think Adrian wouldn't fight me on that.
Yeah, I mean, it's
s-
just part of who I am. It is.
It's just part of who he is, and we love him. So sometimes we need a map, and Adrian's like, "No issue, I'll draw it, free hand, let's do it." And we end up with a lot of objects that look like shrimp for some reason on our maps. That's it. That's right there.
Believe it was
Right.
Death House, and he drew a spiral staircase.
Yep,
It's just a bunch of shrimps.
just a whole lot of shrimp.
Just a bunch of shrimps.
Listen,
Yeah, it
if
was a
that's the
spiral
worst,
staircase.
then I can improve. I'm okay.
Then
with
you're
this.
doing pretty good.
Yeah,
You're doing
yeah,
pretty
yeah.
good.
I personally love the shrimp. I believe that they add a lot of character to the game.
And flavor.
Indeed.
Especially with the dipping sauce. I kind of already talked about mine. There was a moment where you could tell, or I could tell because I was familiar with the module, that Adrian was freed to kind of do his own thing. And I think our game elevated when Adrian just kind of was like, I'm going to make this my own.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Adrian is a very good improviser. like part of that whole low prep DM, one of the things that comes by that is you're really good at like catching things on the fly and making them work into the greater story, or just making them into an interesting plot point. Also making them incredibly frustrating to people who their entire fucking thing is that they are trying to save a little girl. And you keep putting her right in front of me and just like an inch out of reach.
Beautiful.
And then you're just
Chef's
like,
kiss.
hey, look, she's right here, and she's gone. And I'm like, so yes, that was brilliantly frustrating.
Thank you.
Right. Quinn, do you have anything to add to this question?
When
than, hey,
Adrian
y'all.
steps up his game, I'll have an answer to that question.
Nice.
I'm kidding.
I see a major battle in Kilgore's future.
Well, when you
Yeah.
say it every episode, someone kill this motherfucker, please. Honestly, his willingness to, even in campaign 1, to essentially just like, all right, what's your character's backstory, and how do I incorporate it in this game? Even
Yeah,
with
good
the
call.
module or without it, he was still like trying to do that, because him as a DM, like, ultimately what he cares about is what you care about as a player, and it definitely doesn't go unnoticed, and it kind of feels good and rewarding, like,
Yeah,
to,
well
to
said.
play with that.
Yeah, I
No.
mean, he brought in Arlen's sister.
Yeah.
That was fun.
That was crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, that was great. Yeah, well said, Quinn.
Shit, man, that got me tearing up.
Aww.
Now tell me how I can improve.
Shrimp drawings, although we love them.
In art class.
Art class. Do you want how you could improve specific to Cursive Strahd?
No, just because it was like the first full campaign, I kind of use that as how I mean, like, I feel like I've improved for sure, and you've kind of pointed that out. But like, if you want just in general, even in like maybe a little less than halfway through our Ithaca campaign, to be honest, I don't know. It might be longer. But like, if you see something that I can improve on, I mean, that'd be good going forward for our current campaign.
I was thinking more of something specific to Cursive Strahd, not so much like your dungeon mastering, but like
Oh yeah, but if you have
plot
that idea, go
threads and
ahead.
stuff. I just think Rahadin is a very interesting character that you probably could have like
Yeah.
played up more. But there's also so many people to fight in stinking Cursive Strahd, you know.
Yeah.
But like general DMing, I don't really know. You know, I like my pretty maps.
Yeah. Yes. I'm trying to incorporate more pretty maps.
But yeah, that's all I can think of.
Okay.
Oh, or
Adrian.
maybe being more willing to make out with me with your NPCs.
Oh, that is a tough one, to be honest. I'll be real. Just over the table, really hard romancing. Paige has had first-hand experience because we played
Yes,
Thirsty
I have.
Sword Lesbians, and I had to flirt with every player. And like,
I will say,
had to make a relationship with them and like be like okay, and then like we hug, right? Yeah, that's
so
it.
I will say,
one armed hug.
I do understand that can be difficult to roleplay. Like, don't get me wrong, I completely understand that. But when you do it, I can see you just like starting to bud there. And I
Oh.
appreciate that.
Thank you.
So if I'm allowed to answer this question as well, I
Yeah.
feel like that is in my opinion, that might be the one area of improvement I'd put up, is like that more intimate sort of idea, basically. Words, I'm sorry.
No,
Have sex with us.
Yes, please.
Maybe not that far. Like, I might ask for a fade to black at that point.
Fade to
but
black. Yes. Yeah. Basically.
So I have at this point I have to DM so good that you ask for a fade to black is what I'm hearing.
Yeah. Be like, my pants are getting tight. Fade to black, please.
So, no, honestly, that is just such a niche thing, and it is the only thing I can think of where I would say that's your one area of improvement.
Yeah, you're wrong. Oh god.
But if it's something you're uncomfortable with, it doesn't need to part of your
Exactly.
game.
But I also think
Exactly.
like that's also okay, and this is just me kind of overanalyzing myself. Like that's like a reflection of me and my well-being with my own not necessarily sexuality, but like my openness to others with my how I portray things. So like I think like outside of DMing, I'm kind of closed off in a lot of ways. So like I feel like if I have to DM it, and for most things, if I DM it, I'm trying to portray it as true as possible. So when
And what's true to you?
yeah, exactly. So if I'm potentially like kind of locked off from love or like being affectionate towards others, and to be honest, like even saying I love you back to people that I'm just new, like it took me like a whole like a summer of my friends saying it one way, and I'm like, thumbs up, yeah.
Yeah.
So then
Yeah.
for me, like one of the last weeks of camp where just like I say it back and they're like, oh my god, like it took a long time, like it. So I think that is just something that's inherently me right now, but I think it's something that potentially as a person I could also work on. So I don't think it's too much of like asking me to do something that's above who I am, but like part of growing as a person as well. To be okay to be affectionate to others, kind of thing.
Sure. I would also say perfectly fine not to be.
Yes, absolutely.
Gotcha. I think that there's a lot more because like I played like last week 2 games of D&D and it wasn't off the cuff as much. It was still kind of hectic, but I still have ways to improve. But I think planning some things out and not planning others and figuring out what that is going to be something that I want to improve. Because I think that, you know, me being like low prep DM, you know, I can pretty much bullshit most things, but not everything. And I need to figure out what that everything else is. And I think that's where I can improve as a GM right now, especially in Strahd where it was just tough.
I just remembered I had a question for you when I was thinking about doing this tonight. All right, because you kind of present yourself as like a low prep DM, you're now running a homebrew game versus a module game. What is that like for you being like a low prep DM? Like, is there a part of you that misses running a module? Or did you find running a module much easier because you're low prep?
I think that jumping to the new campaign that we have is quite difficult because like I don't have that handrail to kind of like flesh out the story. Like I'm listening to y'all's characters. I have an overarching idea of what I want this setting to be, but I want y'all's influence in order for me to properly know where y'all's potential like story ending is going to be. Now, you know, was it my idea to send Ismark back to Barovia? No. But I think that at this time, it's interesting that now we have this loss in the group that has kind of cultivated this, you know, Paige's character to become a leader, like just because of the vacancy, but also like the necessity of it. And I think it's just so interesting. And trying to make sure I'm hitting everybody's backstory at this at certain points. It's because it can't be at the same time. I think I've tried at one point to try to include it a little bit. Like we're gonna go a little bit here and go a little bit there, and I'm like, no, there needs to be the arcs to this. And I think like after this next book, we're gonna see that like every book is like somebody's potential arc.
Mhm.
What was the question? The question was like, do I find it freeing?
Module versus homebrew and being a
It's
low prep.
crazy. I think I have to be a little bit more preppy, a little bit more because like I'm creating everything.
Yeah.
I know what I kind of want, and then when you guys enter it, things become solid because you guys ask questions, right? Is there a bakery? Yeah, it's right there. Is there any way there? Yes, no. Like you guys are developing it with me as you ask questions. So I think it's good that I don't prep too much. Otherwise, and I think I did this like a couple sessions ago where I prepped something and then nobody kind of felt like they wanted to do it, so I just kind of got upsetty, and I'm like, I'm gonna just let it go. So I think that it's prepping too much for me causes me, if it doesn't go as planned, to be a little upset because I spent so much time. But I think that's just like my own fault.
Interesting. I'm an over prepper.
Same, but I do know what you mean when with regard to like getting that kind of getting frustrated when the players don't go toward what you prepped. But that's the beauty of being a DM, because then you can recycle it, or if they don't address something immediately, then like when they go off and they do something else, then maybe whatever that was festers and now it's worse or something.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay. I've got plans for that other thing. It's gonna be even more developed than it was prior.
Yeah, basically what he's saying is that we're all fucked.
No.
No.
It's gonna be
Wonderful.
interesting, to say the least.
Oh, so we're not fucked?
I don't know yet.
Oh.
That's what happens that session is what happens.
We're just hiring. It's all fine.
He will kill us all.
All right. I still have at least 3 scenes I need to incorporate into some of these questions. I've got it in my notebook.
Do we have any more? Do you have anything else in mind, Paige?
I think I did back when you announced that we were doing this, but I have forgotten them.
No worries.
You know what? I will actually open the floor to questions a little to see if we can't try to weave some of those scenes in there.
I've got one.
Okay.
Go for
What
it.
was everybody's favorite like point of interest or location?
Amber Temple. I was excited from
Amber
when I read
Temple,
it.
absolutely.
When I read it, I was like, "You guys."
I think I'd have to say that too.
Yeah, that place was awesome.
So that led to some cool like roleplay moments too, with all the offers and the gift.
Well, and the Arcanoloth was such a fun battle.
Trying to think of mine.
I think one of my favorite like off the cuffs, because like I don't think this was part of one of the deals. I don't think in Dave, me removing Pink's eyes.
That's in there.
That's in there, okay. But not the being able to see undead, right?
I don't know.
It's been so long.
Did I have that power?
Mine might be
Yes,
the bridge
I
on the
think we
way to
explained
the
it.
Amber Temple.
With the rock.
Yeah, that might be
Oh,
my
yeah.
favorite point of interest.
I hated that part. That
But
that damn. And anytime I think about that bird, I think it's just trauma.
but yeah, Pink, you did have the ability to see undead because you were the only one to see through Ezra's illusion.
Oh yeah, I saw you were a bag of bones.
Yep.
I think I stopped tracking that you needed to eat like dirt and shit.
Grave dirt or
Yeah.
bones.
Yeah.
I forgot.
Well, I think it was like you didn't really give like a per day whatever. Yeah, you never told me anything like that.
No, I
but
think I wanted to make it like creep up on you, so that way there was this loom of like what ifness. But then I think that was just I didn't track it and I just fucking forgot.
well, I mean, you did have me fail a wisdom save because Ezrin was oh so great at all things wisdom.
Yes.
Failed the wisdom save and chow down on the dead person at Argynvost
Oh
in
yeah.
front of everyone.
Right, forgot about that.
That one was funny because all of a sudden everybody knew Ezrin's secret. But yeah, no, the bridge was definitely one of the good places.
I also have a very specific memory. Like, I feel like I can still like see the scene. I don't even know if Arlen was involved in it. Of some of the party members like sneaking up during the dinner party to get to Arena. And so there's some exploring of the castle and stuff during the dinner party
Right.
that I still can like totally see in my mind.
Oh, it was like there was like a
I
trap door.
think it was like
Uh-huh.
I think it was like Nod and Pink, was it? Like, oh god, was Sard part of that?
Yeah, Sard was trying to like. There's something behind the piano, and I'm like, what? There's space between the piano and the walls, and I'm like, you don't. This is some bullshit. No, you don't know that. I tell him straight up. So anyone can tell, and I'm like, okay, you know what? You did fine. I'm gonna come in to hurt you,
I'm pretty sure he read the book.
dude.
It was kind of obvious.
Yeah.
I know everything from the Shadow Dark, the Shadow.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm like, no, you don't.
Yeah,
God. Not back on this.
I know you.
I'm sorry, but it's like when I talk about my character's backstory, and then it's just like, well, I know everything about kobolds. It's like, shut up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
My character wasn't even raised around kobolds. Stop.
I remember that one.
Just like, because then Pink was
characters
like,
aren't awesome.
"Hey, did you tell Sard my backstory?" I'm like, "No, he's just pretend. I don't know what to tell you."
Oh,
I
interesting.
didn't give him this much freedom. And I told, like, I think there's one time where you like, I know what, when he was like, I know what vampires do, I know what werewolves do. And I'm like, okay, you get one more, and then that's it. You don't get any more.
You get one more. I know.
Maybe that's what started my joke of just like, I'm a rogue, I do shit, I just do it good. Because sometimes
Oh yeah.
a certain player would just be like, well, I know this, and I know it. So I'd just be like, well, I'm a rogue, and I do it, and I do it good. You can't say otherwise.
Just self.
By the way, Dave, your cat is a very cute blur.
Yes. Adorable.
That messy in here.
How did you feel about the ending of Curse of Strahd?
I had suspicions that we were going to kill Strahd, and you're going to be like, here is Vampire, the vampire Lord God,
So
and you
wanted
have to fight him.
I so wanted to, but I was also very exhausted.
Yeah.
Did you have it in your back pocket? Did you have a stat block?
I didn't have a stop block, but
Okay.
I really had a stop block for anything. Like I wanted there to be the death of the armor, and then it just like, because like I put the armor on Strahd, but I wanted there to be a moment where he was like just immediately like fucking Tony Stark dons the armor like that. And I wanted that to be like another round of combat with Strahd. And I kind of did that, but I didn't do it with the flourish I wanted to. I think I was like, kind of backpedaling mentally, or just like, what the fuck? We're still fighting this. There's fire here. Dot damage. This guy dies. This guy's alive. Yeah.
Well, I will say I thought you were gonna do that, but I'm glad you didn't. We played that campaign for 2 years.
Yes.
And another thing I meant to tip my hat to you, Adrian, was you were available pretty much every single Friday. Like we didn't miss a lot of sessions.
What were we supposed to do? Go outside?
Yeah, right. So even though I had
what
my
were we supposed to do? Be social?
suspicions, yeah, just with strangers from the internet. Even though I had my suspicions that you were gonna like pull something like that, I'm glad you didn't. I thought the ending was complete. It was whole. It was climactic. Yeah, I was good with how things drew to a close.
I was kind of sad about the ending, because typically with an adventure ending, it's like, and all the heroes are together and everything and happy ending, but everybody like split off and did their own kind of thing. It was a little somber.
Yeah, and there's that feeling of like when I had to say bye to Arlen, I felt like I was saying bye to a friend a little bit.
Yeah.
And I said,
And
thank God.
Yeah, I will say though, Pink, when part of your epilogue was for your character, for Pink to show up at Arlen's estate and like train as a blade singer, it was like my favorite thing from the epilogues. And I think maybe it's because of what you're talking about. Like we did all split off.
Yeah.
And just the vision or seeing like Pink showing up and like training with Arlen, I just like love and cherish. Like I adore that like scene, that vision from the epilogue.
A blind blade singer kobold. Who doesn't want that?
Yeah, so cool.
I can only see you when I hurt you. Adrian, you son of a bitch, you made me kill the person that I was sent there to save.
you put fucking bomb in your ring. How was that my fault?
I did do that. Yes, that is a good point. No, but yeah. Honestly, like that was something that Ezrin didn't plan. That I as the player, like, because we had gotten all the alchemist fire and shit, and we were like, okay, well, we need somewhere to store it. The card is probably too volatile, and I'm like, oh, I have this, and then like about a month later, I was reading through and it's like, yeah, when you die, everything in the container spills out, and I'm like, fuck, that that's gonna go horribly wrong, and Ezrin's not gonna realize that. Yeah. But no, as far as the epilogues and such, like I loved Dave's. I well it was a little bit sad to see everybody split off. Like it was sad, but it also felt natural. Like in terms of where people went.
I agree.
Including Ezrin getting a boat and going off on his own, just checking in with the others every few months.
What else we got?
Lovely. You know what? We joked about this earlier. I'm gonna bring it up. Aside from the obvious, who is your least favorite PC in the game?
Oh, besides the option.
Oh fuck.
PC or NPC?
PC. PC. player character.
What the fuck, dude?
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
Ezra in
shit.
Darkness.
That-
Fuck him.
My first instinct was Ezran, although my character like pledged themselves to Ezran as like blood brothers, so I don't know if I
Yep.
can really make
Yeah.
that argument.
Oh man.
You
I'm
know,
glad I brought up the joke question.
he's not here.
The easy answer is not here.
Not was just the worst.
I
Not was
gotta
the absolute worst.
I gotta say, I never really understood Knott's deity, and I think at one point he had a statue of it, and I didn't understand some of that. That's all I'm gonna say. I just didn't understand some of that.
Yeah, fuck the guy that's not here.
Hot take. I'm gonna say first half of the campaign, Arlen.
Yeah, I also
Yeah.
think the current player I'm playing, Archie, is the worst. I
Just
think everybody would have to answer Archie.
I love
no
Archie.
thoughts, head empty. Rush
Okay,
right at all.
okay. From my perspective, I mean, like I don't think he's entirely the worst. From Val's perspective, abso-fucking-lutely.
But Ireland has some crossover, like the spoiled kid. Also, the mentality I entered Ireland into that campaign was everybody around me is a tool to be used to gain more power, to find more spells, basically. That was like literally the mentality I entered that campaign with, and then it was like, oh crap, I'm starting to like care for these people.
Yep.
So you're answering Arlen, I think, is totally appropriate for
A
that.
wizard backstory after my own heart.
Yes,
Mhm.
yes, absolutely.
What's the second half?
Well, the second half is where he experienced. I think I've talked about this before, but he experienced a lot of character growth. I think I had a moment with him where we were talking about something, and I essentially told Arlen where it was just like, like you're an elf essentially. Like you can be like 400 fucking years old or whatever. The rest of us don't have that time to spend because in the Shadow
right.
Realm or wherever the fuck we were, time moves much faster, and so essentially just we all didn't have the time to fucking waste to figure shit out or whatever he wanted to do. And surprisingly he took it very well when I said that.
I remember that. I didn't remember it until you just mentioned it, but I remember me like jaw dropping, like, whoa, that's such a true statement. Like, Ireland's gonna live forever. What does it matter if time is moving weird here in Barovia? But for everybody else who, or for those that aren't gonna live that long, yeah, I remember me as a player being like, oh dang, I never thought of that. And especially with Arlen being my first character, there was a lot of me in Arlen.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, I do remember that interaction and me just being like, whoa, that is so true.
Well, and
Yeah.
you played it so well when Mira came through because, like, realistically, you had missed what, like a century with her, but for an elf, Adrian, I see you're shaking your head, but
It was like 40 years, but yeah.
It was though, but like I left her as like a kid,
Mhm.
and she showed up a woman or
Yeah, yeah.
whatever, a she elf. I don't know.
A shelf.
yeah, but you
Elf.
yeah, shelf. But like you played it so well because yeah, it had been like 40 years for her, but it's like it was played very well because 40 years to an elf is like, I don't know, a year to us, like 2
Mhm.
years. So it's like, yeah, I haven't seen you in a while, but it's not like groundbreaking.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Mira showing up is one of my bullet points. The sister, Arlen's sister, because when she showed up, Arlen went to her. I don't know if you guys remember, and Mira didn't believe that it was Arlen. So she
Yeah, I
started
remember that.
blasting Arlen with like
yeah.
spells,
Ooh.
and Arlen was just taking it. Like I was like, there's no way Arlen's gonna raise a hand against his sister, and I think he got close to death. Like I think, or maybe he did drop. I think Pink had to rush a healing potion or something to him. Or
Maybe.
One thing that I do remember is like the only Ezrin was on the verge of blasting her to Kingdom Come, and the only thing that stopped him was I believe this was after we had established like our emotional link, and like there was that emotion like the link was in the back of his head tugging, like kind of saying don't.
yeah.
And like like, and I remember you whispered that to me either on here and either on Roll20 or in Discord or something. Like you sent me a message like the emotional link is screaming familiarity, kinship, etc.
That's
And
cool.
I'm like, that is the only thing keeping Ezrin from blasting the fuck out of this person who is attacking my friend.
Yeah, Ezrin did have a lot of kind of like big brother protective energy. Now that I think about it,
Ezrin was a cannon that was pointed at whoever was attacking his friends.
yeah, very much so. Very much so.
Okay, I have a question. It just hit me right now. What secrets did you guys have in the other chat that I didn't know?
Ooh. Yeah, what secrets do we have? I mean, every now and then we did a little bit of battle planning.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was honestly primarily like tactics and such that we wanted to like.
Do we run away right now?
Yeah, that was.
Do you
that was
use
a big
that
one.
during session?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's when it was used most.
Oh yeah.
Is this a whole
during
other
the session was-
server, or is this just
No,
Okay,
it's
just
It's a brute DM.
But it's like, are we running away? We're running away, right? Is everybody gonna run away? That
Yeah,
was
like-
that's a good amount of it.
Okay.
Or yeah, what else would show up on there? Oh, maybe something like Adrian's not playing nice tonight. Or Adrian's out for blood. I think that's a recent one I've said. I think I said that during Ithaca. Adrian's out for blood right now.
The fucking I forget, his name's had P's in it. That's all I remember.
From Ithaca?
douchebag?
Yeah, that guy's he's scary.
I think that was my first like flex of like, you aren't supposed to be here.
Ooh.
And I think I didn't do that enough in Ravenloft.
Yeah,
you guys were just blasted.
Yeah, it felt like that guy
Oh, I started
specifically
blast.
in our next campaign was a result of like Chris Strahd, and you'd be like, I need to bring in some firepower against these morons.
I have given you the confidence after 2 years of saying you're gonna die and then no one dying, and then finally just like, we might die.
Yeah.
We
Oh,
might die.
did he just use a 9th level spell, everybody? Yep, yes he did. Okay.
Well, and especially like especially when you're someone like me who has everything memorized, that like the moment Adrian is just like, all right, they're gonna cast Power Word, and my brain immediately goes, fuck.
Yeah, that's the spell.
It's like doesn't matter which one it is. The lowest one is 7th level, which means we should not be here.
Yep.
Yeah, it's just like, all right, they're gonna cast Power Word.
And then, of course, there was also a secret chat where we complained about Sard.
It was there?
Oh yeah.
I don't remember.
Oh, or was that just me reaching out to different people through?
I think that was just you.
Hey, is it just me, or is this horrible?
I
this
did
me?
do that with you, like that very night. I specifically reached out to Dave where I was like, I am so uncomfortable right now.
Yeah, I remember that.
God.
Oh my god.
I have a favorite Ezrin story from our campaign.
Oh,
Can I share it?
yes.
Yeah.
Okay, my favorite Ezra moment. We had a cool Blood Brothers ceremony, but it's not that. Is when I, Dave, knew that these pastries were no good.
Oh, you.
And I didn't care. I said my character doesn't know that. My character is going to investigate and try out some of these pastries from that, which turns out to be the hag. And so I know I'm setting myself up for this moment, but I'm just trying to play it like character. I have a high intelligence, inquisitive, curious character, and I involved Ezrin for something to like take notes or something. Like, hey,
No,
and-
you involved me as the subject.
no, I didn't. Your character then goes, you know what? You're the better note taker.
Oh,
Why don't
right.
I eat it and you take the notes?
Oh shit, that's
And-
right. I remember that.
And so it went from me like trying just not to metagame and thinking this would be like an interesting moment to now I basically knowingly am drugging our party member. But that moment of Ezra and the logic was sound. He goes, you know what? You're studious. Why don't you observe me and you take the notes while I eat the thing? And I'm like, yeah, it makes sense. Okay. Here you go.
Fuck, you're right.
Yeah.
No, that,
Yeah.
and yeah, that is entirely in character with Ezrin.
Oh, all the board. That's the thing. It was so in character for both of us that I was kind of like, I think I have to give him the cookie. I think.
Well, and to be fair, if I remember right, Arlen had like a -1 wisdom, right?
Well, Adrian let us do point buy for this one.
Yeah, but I think you full min max.
I think I did. I think Arlen had 3 negative.
Yeah, you had strength,
Ooh.
wisdom, charisma is negative. I
All
believe.
negative.
I
Yeah.
think I did too. I was a midnight.
But what I love about that is that demonstrates what happens when you put two characters both with negative wisdom together.
I can tell
Yeah,
you right
yeah.
now, our strength -1 to wisdom and charisma for Arlen.
-1 to wisdom, strength, and charisma.
No, strength
Yep.
was -2.
Nice. Get that 7 on there for strength.
Yeah, pretty much.
Nice.
Oh man.
Yeah, that was my favorite Ezra moment, though. Is
But-
realizing that I was gonna have to be responsible for him taking the dream pastry.
But also, like, that was around the time where I realized in character Ezrin was getting comfortable with the group. And that was one of the first times that he actually like opened up to you about his past.
Oh, while under
Because-
the influence.
Yeah, while under the influence of the cookie.
Yeah.
Because I didn't do this as like it's what my character would do. I did it like as a legitimate element of like this like something to have character progression, and it's like Ezrin's entire life he has learned compartmentalization. Like keep things keep everything separate. When you meet new people, they are likely not out to actually help you. So don't give them anything they can use against you. And it's like about that time was when he was starting to realize, okay, I might like these people might actually have my back. And so he was starting to get to that point.
Yeah.
And then you fed him the cookie, and that took it from like a trust of 2 out of 10 to a trust of 8 out of 10 while under the cookie's influence.
I'm really starting to trust these guys. I should eat this cookie.
All right, real quick. Ezrin also has a -1.
Oh yeah.
I think I'm looking at this real quick. Pink has a 1, which is
Okay.
the second highest.
Nice. We're very wise.
May had 0 and Not had 4.
A +4.
Yeah.
Is that typical for a cleric build? Are they wisdom casters?
There was
Clerics are wisdom casters.
Yes, please. Ask our resident always plays cleric.
Yeah. Yeah. I also have a favorite pink
so-
story.
Specifically, always plays Genasi cleric.
Hey, I don't have a comeback. But yes.
Is your pink moment the Emmy award-winning performance?
Yes.
We always talk about this.
I was hoping we would ignore
We
it.
cannot go this.
How-
We cannot have this show without talking about it, though.
I know.
How can
exactly.
we not? How can we not discuss the Emmy
know.
award-winning RP performance
I
by the
know.
one, the only Quinn?
I might argue that there was Adrian's multi-interview step interview that helped keep us together. I also might argue that Quinn's moment that we're alluding to early in our campaign raised the RP bar so much in our campaign that might also be why we are still playing together.
I
Oh,
will
absolutely.
say, early on, I could tell like we wanted to kind of dip our toes into role playing a bit, because like at that point we were kind of just like playing the game, but not really role playing. But like seeing Dave, especially, I was just like, he wants to fucking role play. Like I know he fucking does. Like I could read it off this guy, and I kind of do too, because I was kind of watching Critical Role at the time and another show, and I think maybe JJ too kind of wanted to. I don't know. I was kind of getting the vibe from people. So with that moment, I was just like, what would my character do? And I was like, but this. So I put those way too many years of theater classes to use, bitch.
Yeah. So we should explain the moment for our readers. Early in our campaign. It was the village of Barovia, so we're probably talking
Mhm.
after Death House, like a session or two.
Yeah.
No, this was this
this
was
is
actually
way back.
before.
Yeah.
Because I remember I was there. So this was when the party after Valaki, when we went back to Barovia.
We went back to Barovia.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because
So it's not quite as-
I wasn't there for Death House, but I came in Valaki, and I remember being there for that.
and you were there for it. Okay. Pink, I'm assuming you're not wanting to tell this story. Are you
No.
wanting to tell the story?
Certainly.
Okay, that's what I figured. We get to a moment where I think a priest died, and it was a very direct result of our actions or inaction. And our little kobold rogue breaks down into tears, and it was like role played, full on like role played, like sorrow and grief about our like actions or inactions resulting in this like good person dying. And a lot of our play is cameras off, but I remember just being like as if you're looking around the room like, oh my gosh, is this happening right now? Like, this is real. We're acting here. Yeah, and it was the first moment in our campaign like that. It was, yeah.
I think
It's
at
huge.
first people asked me, "Are you okay?"
Yeah.
Yeah, you.
And
I
then-
think
and
you
then I
got
stopped.
private messages from like all of us.
And then
of,
I stopped and I was like,
good?
"Guys, I'm role playing."
I'm playing the game that we're playing.
Guys, keep going.
And then we just went with it. And ever since then, we just
Forever,
went full
yeah.
out.
Yeah, forever onwards. That was a huge moment for our playing together, and it was just like allowing yourself to be vulnerable. I would think, like putting yourself out there, right? And you were just like brave enough to do it first,
Yeah.
and then the rest of us were like, hell yes, like this is the game we're playing now. Like,
Which,
yeah.
if I can, super unexpected, because I mean, we're talking about this. This is me from like what 3-4 years ago
yeah.
when I just met you guys.
Mm-hmm.
I was like barely speaking in the party.
Yeah, that's
To all of a sudden,
Yeah.
like role playing, crying with like with actual tears. By the way, those theater classes come in handy, y'all.
Yeah, heck yeah. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, you were very quiet and I might say timid
Mm-hmm.
in those early sessions. And then,
And look at me now,
Look
brazenly making fun of all of you.
at you now. I do. I think that might have played a key role in all of us still playing together. Because I don't know if it ever would have elevated without a moment like that of our like role playing, and I don't know if that would have been enough for us to all stick around for 3 or 4 years now.
Yeah.
No, the RP before that was like maybe 30% of what it is today.
Oh.
And that was the major, like that was the adrenaline shot that got us up.
Yeah,
for it.
for sure.
Because before that it was like, okay, these are some people that I know on the internet. One of them is a good storyteller. We all rolled dice. And then that was these are my friends that I play D&D with.
These are my friends. We're all storytelling, right? It's not just the
Exactly.
dungeon master having to storytell. Yeah.
Yeah, like these are my friends that I'm playing D&D with. We're all telling a story together, and we're all participants and active storytellers within that realm. And it's like that was the kickstart.
100%.
Yes, the Emmy Award winning performance by Quinn.
Yep.
I think.
But
that,
yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Okay, I think that like, the moments that I know that y'all guys are having fun is that when you guys, hey, like during a rest, I want to RP, and I'm like, I don't gotta do shit. And that means that one, you're invested in your character, but you're also invested in other people's characters. And the story that y'all have created together, right? Or we've all created together. So I enjoy seeing y'all when you guys ask for that. When you guys reach out and say, hey, I want to do this real quick. And I'm like, fuck yeah, dude. And I'm trying to think, like, some of the best RP was, like, during down camp with, like, either, Arlen teaching Pink, or, like, Arlen making the pact with Ezrin. And then Arlen, I don't know, it's all connected to Arlen.
Arlen, come on, keep it going.
He was the leader.
Mr. Antisocial suddenly became the glue.
Yeah.
Oh, he was so awkward.
And then Arlen, like, hey, you can live with me or something when we get back with JJ.
With not, they ended up adopting him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like it was, you guys started connecting more and tying y'all's stories together in that way as well. So I think that showed that like y'all's RP was like one improving from like being like, this is what I'm gonna do really cool, to I want to be part of other people's stories as well. So good. And I want Joseph to talk about, because there was a session where it was only 2 people, and I think I'm sorry for the rest of y'all, but I think it was like one of the best sessions I ran.
Yeah, it's all because the rest of you didn't show up.
Yeah.
So thank you. Do you guys remember, or you guys kind of heard bits and pieces of their stories, right?
I logged in after the session. I was at a wedding, and you guys were like on a high.
Sheesh, it was so good.
I think
Go ahead.
technically that makes me like the only person who played like a backup character in the campaign. Because I was playing what was his fucking name?
It was another flower. Yeah.
Osmus. Because I was playing him essentially.
It was just rolling, succeed.
Because we were pretty dead set on like the main character kind of mindset for our campaign, rather than the current one now with the. I'm not feeling it this week.
Yeah.
Let me play something else.
Which is fine. I'm down with it. Because I wanted that to be a big thing about being part of the guild, was to like, I want to offset a character, and if I'm not feeling it, and then just he's gone. I want to try somebody else. Yep. He's from another guild. He's been here. Here we go.
Yep. So you're gonna talk about this small session?
Wait, what did we do?
It was
Well,
a backstory.
I remember my part.
Yeah, I remember most. I kind of remember this backstory session. We only rolled d20s for the most part. If you took damage, you just got hurt essentially. And it was because of the resurrection that happened. Osmond was brought to life. So we're playing Osmond, realizing underneath a pile of like construction and rubble that he's still alive. And Ezran was kind of piloting his uncle.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
His uncle who disappeared when he was younger.
Yeah.
The
That's
boat,
all I
right?
knew about the uncle. And I wanted to like I'm gonna play that story out and how he disappeared. And also put in the idea that he still might be alive.
Completely forgot about that.
And then Osmond Yeah, go ahead.
Oh no, I was just saying like with the uncle, that was you said that that's all you knew. I don't like writing anything that the character doesn't know, and that was one area of it where Ezran didn't know what happened to his uncle. All he knew is that like his uncle, who was also a smuggler, like dumped him on port saying, "Hey, we have some cargo that we're gonna transport. I'm leaving you with some money. I'll be back in 2 weeks." That's it. Like it, and it wasn't like a necessarily it wasn't common, but it was something that they had done before. So it was like, okay, gives them like a month worth of money, and it's like, okay, I'll be back in 2 weeks. You can take care of yourself. Ezra at this point is probably like 16, 17. And 2 weeks goes by. 3, 4, 5, nothing. Like all he knows is that his uncle sailed off and never returned.
And so this flashback episode wasn't as Ezran, but it was as the uncle?
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
And I'd switch
Yeah,
between the two stories, kind of like
Yeah.
it was a splash of water from a wheel kind of going over a puddle. Switches us over to Ezran's uncle being splashed with a wave, and it's just like a heavy storm has all of a sudden happened, and we're like both progressing, and like he gets hit by like a broken piece of timber, and we switch to Asmund just getting hit by something else, like a city guard just being
Osmus, is that what you're saying?
I think I'm saying Osmus.
Osmus.
Yeah.
Being beat by a city guard because they're accusing them of stealing or something like that. It was just like I was like transferring from each story and kind of intertwining them, and even though like one they're not related at all, but like
And they're entirely different time periods even.
yeah, but like it's still kind of like to one make it so like okay, you had enough time for you like to actually sew them together in a very cool cinematic way.
Mm-hmm.
And it was brilliantly done. Like you did a great job. But yeah, like we got to see. But like we saw what happened to Osmus after the resurrection, because if I remember right, he didn't know what happened.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Did he even remember who he was, or they? Sorry.
Been so long. I don't really. I think so. He couldn't remember like much else. He couldn't remember Pink.
Yes.
That's right.
Couldn't remember much because of the side effect of resurrection, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
He was just trying to put together the pieces.
Yeah. And I think
Yeah, and then
it ended with like him or them curling up next to like a picture of like you and or like two little kobolds next to each other, and didn't understand what it meant. If I'm remembering correctly.
Yeah.
it was like a paint like just a non-detailed painting on like a brick exposed piece of wall of a pink kobold and a yellow kobold next to each other.
So let me do some digging here because I'm about to start a new campaign and I want to start the campaign by having one-on-one sessions with each of the characters. So I'm prying here for what made this so successful. Was it the like it kind of sounds like Adrian was being more like cinematic with things and having these like cut scenes and transitional. Was it kind of just having more like narrative cinematic vibe to it? You know, we're not like rolling a ton of dice, blah blah blah. Or was it having the smaller group setting and having that just like designated time and like attention? Like what like what do you think it was that made that session so special?
I think it was honestly both. Like the smaller group and the smaller group and the cinematic. Um, I will say it was nice having more than one person because that way, uh, when you reached a natural point in one story, you could swap over to the other one, which gives the player time to process what just happened and
Mm-hmm.
everything. And it's not just like one continuous thing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'd have to say both too, and agreeing with like the more than one person. Because I think about it, and I'm like, it would have to be a little awkward if it's just like you and the DM doing it alone. I kind of like that we were like swapping back and forth
Okay.
between each other.
Yeah, that was a really good, really well done session. And Adrian answered a question in there that in that session that even I didn't know the answer to, which was where Ezrin got his powers.
Oh,
Ooh.
cool. Very cool.
Yeah, part of that little story was that his uncle was carrying, it was like a gem or something, that seemed to be causing a storm, and when uh, uh, and like it was very volatile and such. Uh, and he knew that if the ship flooded with the gem on board, then the ship, like everything would go wrong essentially. So what he did was he got it on a rope and swung it as far as he could, basically just yeeting it out to sea as a like, cargo's important, my ship is more important. uh, and yeeted it out to sea, which is what it needed to actually erupt. Was the water around it, and it like caused this detonation of oceanic energy. But also, if I remember right, also like freed a like a genie spirit that was trapped inside of it, and uh, Ezrin's uncle was like at the very end was floating on like a piece of driftwood, drifting in and out of consciousness on an endless ocean, or I'm sorry, not driftwood, but like part of his ship, drifting in and out of consciousness, and he's just like, I just wish that that little guy knows I'm sorry and is able to take care of himself, and that wish granted Ezrin his powers.
Adrian, do you feel like you could have done a session like that at the beginning of a campaign? How would that have been different?
Ooh, good question.
I mean, if we're talking about that campaign, I don't think I could have done it. I would have not been prepared. But any campaign, I think it's fine. I think I did a duo with you and JJ.
Going into
Session.
Ithaca.
Mm-hmm. Same thing with Semi. I think I did it. Semi and Val were together. I think Kai was by himself.
Memory serves, yes.
So I had a few people who were in like the same area that wanted to be, and some people who just like, yeah, it's fine. I have an idea, and then if they're, fleshed out, or they believe they're fleshed out, they're good, they're golden. So like, I don't think it would have been possible if I hadn't had y'all's experience beforehand. In you know, with this insight that when you ask that question, like, could have it done with just like one person, or was it helpful to have that other person? I didn't kind of process that in my mind, that it was because they had time to breathe, to figure out what they wanted next. Because to me, I was just flying.
Right.
I didn't know. I kind of knew what I kind of wanted it to do with the whole story, to experience those feelings a little bit quicker without the restrictions of roles or the expectation of roles. I don't think that rolling is a restriction. It tells a good story sometimes. But I think that us just being those people that were in our characters' lives was very interesting to what happens next. And it gave everyone like, okay, I need to figure out what their motives are right now, right this moment. Kind of like how I do with the NPCs. So I think that having them have it breather, just like, okay, I need to process that is quite interesting, and I need to look into it more, and probably something I'll probably do in the future, but I'll have to figure that out. Because like I'm still thinking right now, how am I going to do that with any new character at this point when we have?
Yeah.
Like I think that right now in my mind, I want to do that after we start playing. Want to make sure that we know what we want to do with our characters, but also to have an understanding of what they're like. So that way, me as the DM can set the stage for them to essentially like shoot the monk, to do what they're good at.
To set them up for whatever,
for success or failure. Yeah. To know who they are first, for me to better set the stage.
Because when we did the fireside chat with JJ and I before our Ithaca campaign, that was, at least for me, very much just kind of like find your voice.
Right.
You know, and you didn't have to do squat. I don't even know if you're at your desk for a good portion of it.
I left for like 10 minutes of it.
This is just like kind of find your voice, but it did add like a lot of depth to our interactions going into the actual campaign. It felt very like Game of Thronesy, where it was like there's a whole history that's off camera that's happened already, you know, and now everybody else is just like an avalanche of consequences from past, you know, decisions and stuff. It felt like that, which I thought was really cool. But yeah, I'm trying to figure like get the pulse for how you would do it again.
Like I still want to have some of those 2-man sessions, but I've never asked for a time or space, because mentally, once I've done Friday, I'm just like exhausted, and then I'm like, okay, recoup and get ready for the rest of the week, and then it's Friday, and I'm like, fuck, I didn't even try, you know? Like I want to have smaller sessions with y'all. That's why I gave a whole month, but after the incident in Ithaca, because I wanted to have time between then to either have like some time for processing interactions, or to have some fun, just kick some steam.
Yeah.
Like
you and I had even talked about doing an Ismark one.
Right. Like to be honest, I think I'm getting back on my good leg of creativity right now. Like I'm making something every day this month. Like today is the stream, and then I'm gonna condense this whole thing into 2 different videos that I'm putting on YouTube. Like I'm fucking firing. Okay, I'm writing scripts and shit, dude. Like I'm on fire. Yeah. So hopefully that also means that I'm gonna be like, hey man, do you want to talk with anybody? If not, fuck you. I'm gonna go somewhere that does want to talk to somebody. Like, I want to play some just like casual shit that doesn't have to include the roles, but just experience your character for a little bit. That way, when we do all come to the table, that we're like, one, we got our kicks. If we want some more, we're gonna get some more RP. If we don't, we're gonna kick some ass. Like we get to it.
There's also just the changing of like dynamics. You know, like Archie's gonna act like Archie. And he's always going to act like Archie with Val lurking in the background, right? But if you take Val out of the scene, how is that different for Archie to interact with Kai? right? Or if you have a loudmouth that's constantly talking and taking up 90% of the airways.
Viewers, Dave is pointing at himself.
If you take that character out of the scene, who's doing the majority of the talking? What dynamic does that change up? You know,
Yeah.
like that stuff's great. I love
that
all
happens
that.
in like most shows where like you see development in a side character, or like if there's like an entourage of characters, you see those dynamics. Does it work? Does it not? What do they have similarities? What do they not? What can they learn from each other? Things like that. Like it. I'm trying to figure out how I could do this now. Like, cause like it's usually most of us are showing up. You know, like there hasn't been another time where it's just been two people. So I don't know. I gotta figure it out.
You have to split C's.
I do.
Hour and a half.
You know, just peanut. We have like 2 players of peanut gallery. Just ooh,
Yeah.
popcorn.
Is it our turn yet?
No. See,
No, get out of the secret chat.
See, I gotta figure it out.
Not yet.
Shoot. Yeah. No, we went to Ithaca so fast.
Look, you presented my curious wizard with amnesia, with the ability to do wizardy bullshit.
I think. See, your person is unique because, the circumstance wise, is because like now, you always are asking, "Do I know this? Do I know this?"
Yeah.
And to be honest, I think it was kind of pushing, because like you switched characters since, and I like the idea of presenting you these things, but I think that it becomes like you're always asking this question, what do I know, what do I know, what do I know, that it kind of pushes some of the characters to the side, because we're always having to say yes or no and focusing on that question because you don't know anything. I think
no, I realize that, and that's one of the reasons why I pushed to Val, because I'm like, let me try and not be as center stage as possible and all that. But yeah, playing a character with amnesia is definitely one thing. Also, because there are a few different ways to play a character with amnesia, like 2 of the main ones are, you see it as either a fresh slate, or you're trying to recover your past. Fresh slate is easy, because then you don't care if you know someone.
Maybe too easy.
Like fresh slate is easy because you don't care if you know someone. Trying to recover your past, that's the one that like that I didn't really think about until well after I made Cadmus. I think after we were in Ithaca, and I'm like, oh shit, this is like, especially since this is a character from Ithaca.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna okay.
And I think that
And
as I was still developing and listening to your questions, I had to also decide yes or no. And then if it was yes, then I had to go into so much detail that
Yeah.
also how much is too much? What is not enough? What is the right amount of information? To be honest, it's like up to your discretion. But like to me, it's like I still want them to still have some sort of satisfying feeling of like, okay, there's something there. But because we've kind of established that Cadmus was from such a high level, that you were going to ask these questions until we got to that level.
Right. Right.
And there was
Yeah,
always pieces.
and at some point I might bring him back, but like it but likely not for a bit, and not without a kind of a change of attitude about his past. Like he might if he comes back, he might like be a bit more casual about it. Such just to not be in the center of the fucking stage.
I like
Wait.
it when you guys try to be the center of the stage. It makes me feel better.
You guys have backstory? That's weird.
I specifically remember Quinn going, I just didn't want a character that was like main character syndrome. And I
Yeah.
was like, no, please.
And then literally the first game of the second campaign. I took up all the time.
Stole our
This
hearts.
is wonderful.
Stole our hearts.
Kilgore, best score.
Yes. Now, I will say what we're doing with Kai currently might be the most difficult thing I've done in D&D thus far, because
How so?
being a leader is not where I'm comfortable. Like I am most comfortable like being on the side, letting other people shine and helping them shine. I'm not used to being the one like in the spotlight. So this is weird and honestly it can get a little uncomfortable for me, but I appreciate that we're doing it.
Oh,
Um,
and
Really?
then the other session, Adrian goes, "This wouldn't have happened if Ismark was still
Yes.
here." Oh,
Yes.
Oh man,
That was
that
such a good moment.
I
that
fucking
just drove the knife in.
Ugh. I'm really enjoying the dynamic. I'm really enjoying the dynamic of Ismark's being gone and what that's done to the party. Because it's still fun for me, the part of me that loves Ismark, because he's still kind of getting like mentioned and like he's still like in people's minds. But the like void that Ismark left has been real, especially for Kai, but has been really fun for me to like just watch how yeah.
I also like seeing it from the perspective of a character who didn't know them, like who didn't know Ismark, but is seeing the resonant impact of this person on everyone else,
Yep.
including their old friend.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like seeing such a drastic change in their old friend. It's like there have been multiple times where Val has kind of thought to himself, like, I kind of want to meet this person.
Yeah, I'm starting to picture Val and Ismark in the same room right now, and I love it.
I gotta say, honestly, and we won't know how it will be until they meet. They will either be best friends or mortal enemies.
I was thinking that too. My first instinct was like, they're gonna freaking love each other. They are like the same. They have the same mindset.
They are both assholes who hate everyone who has not proven themselves loyal to them.
Yeah, they're like super like hyper aware, like very kind of like Mad Eye Moody, like you know, like everything's a threat. We got to be ready. There's no room for weakness.
And it's like, well, if you can't survive out in the wild, then you shouldn't be out in the fucking wild.
Yes. It's so yes.
Yeah, it's like you shouldn't. Yeah. Oh, you grew up in the city, did you? Oh, and you don't know how to survive out of the city? Then why the fuck are you leaving the city? Why are you being a burden to my friends?
Yeah, there are a lot of similarities between the two, for sure.
Oh yeah, like, and like I said, they will either be like the best of friends, like rival, like Val's friendship with Ismark will rival or exceed that of Kai, or they will try to kill each other on sight.
Yeah, or I'm trying to think of like two like forces of power that just kind of like respect each other, but they don't like get in each other's way. They don't mess, you know, like I'm trying to think of two characters like that. I can't come up with anything, but I could see that too. Just like, yeah, you take care of you, I take care of me. Everything will be just fine.
Well, and like eventually, the interesting thing about them is they can do that because Val is not a caster. He is kind like the way I kind of see artificers is that like they have technology that imitates spells, not necessarily actually like casts, but they're still affected by magic. That's why counterspell, yada yada yada, all the rule shit. But it's like, yeah, like so it's like, okay, if it's magical, that's your problem. If it's not, like if it's mechanical, that's my problem.
Yeah, you gonna take care of this? Yeah, I'll take care of it. All right, I got this.
Yeah, it's just like, yeah, there's a seems to be something magical. Shouldn't be something magical blocking that there door. You gonna take care of that, or you just want to wait until magic dies out?
I can see it. I gotta see it. Turns out we gotta go to Barovia, everybody.
Oh,
All right, well, we know where we're going.
not evil.
Because the 4 years I've spent in Barovia was not enough.
Man.
Well, there's Barovia under Strahd, and then there's bringing Barovia into a new campaign, which is like the latter, especially after having been in a Curse of Strahd game. So much fun and so juicy.
Well, you could tell it was juicy to let Curse of Strahd drip into our next campaigns because a bunch of us tried to do it.
Yeah, I
Yep.
didn't say
Yeah, like-
anything.
Yeah.
You guys just wanted to do that.
Yeah.
I was one of the few, and even one of my characters that I had an idea for was also someone affected by it.
I think there was only one person that didn't want that.
Me.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
And everybody else said, I want to be part of Barovia. Can I be a vampire? Can I be part of Barovia? I'm like, I just spent 2 years there.
Yeah.
Paige.
and all,
Paige
Yeah.
has an excuse.
And I think even Paige had a connection at one point.
I wanted to at first, but I
yeah.
backed out of it last second. I don't even remember why.
You're sick.
I think you just got wins that a bunch of us were doing it.
Yeah, I think so. And it was just like, okay, if everyone's doing this, I might as well be the odd one out
I
here.
think I announced it. I'm like, hey, most of you guys want to come back to Barovia. I just got to let you guys know.
I didn't hear a thing about it.
Really?
I didn't hear anything about. So when we showed up, I was like, "Damn, everyone's from fucking Barovia."
Dave is literally playing an NPC.
Yeah, I will say, if we're being open today, I
Sure.
was very against the NPC thing. I was like,
Oh.
"Oh, what? He's playing an NPC from the last campaign? I don't know about that. But
Why?
honestly,
What was your reservation?
I don't know. It was just like, well, at least I don't know. I guess to me, it was just like, you build the character, you come up with them from scratch, that kind of thing.
Mm.
But the
Well-
weird thing is Ismark really like warmed up to me. Like I
Yep.
really, you really made it your own. That was the crazy thing.
Mm.
Also,
And,
Ismark
and
is one thing.
Ismark was
They-
Ismark was a character build. He just was named Ismark Kolyanovich. Like I even built Ismark as like an Owlin or something. Like I still definitely built him. Although I was tempted just to use the veteran stat block at one point.
But yeah, Ismark is one thing. Dave Smark is a character.
Yeah,
Dave
if you're playing
Mark.
Ismark, fucking loser. Dave? Hey, what up?
Ismark the
like,
Lesser, forget about it.
Mhm.
Yeah, Dave Smark was the one that warmed up to it. Ismark's an asshole.
I think Archie's worse than Ismark.
I like Archie.
I will not disagree.
Okay. How do I want to put this? Personally, I as a player both agree and absolutely adore how much shit Archie's giving the party.
Oh man, we finish the session. I go to my wife and I'm like, the character I'm playing is just the worst. I would want to punch my character in the face.
Okay, Archie is everyone's that guy.
Yes.
like anytime one of us has like a story of, oh yeah, I saw this guy and like starts complaining about, it's like like Archie is that guy.
Yeah, it could be worse. Yeah. Oh, we've managed to completely derail our Curse of Strahd.
Well, we
I
kind of
mean,
we talked about
Ismark.
everything.
We talked about Ismark.
Yes.
Ismark brought
Yeah, we
us back.
talked about Ismark, sure.
Listen, I think next session we just ambush JJ. We just start with the starting screen and then we just switch to this screen. Like,
Ooh,
okay,
yeah.
JJ.
Nice,
I just-
nice.
Hey, so, okay, we opened the session with, hey, so who was your least favorite PC?
Yes.
JJ's cooking food right now.
That was
Yeah.
question.
Who's your least favorite PC? Just so you know, Dave said not.
Oh my gosh. Did we hit all your points? trying to get
My
names
points?
correct. Yeah.
Yes, we did.
Nice.
Lovely.
Although, did everybody share their favorite their character moment?
Please do.
Because mine is when Arlen held off the whites. But like Joseph, did you say what was your favorite Ezran moment?
The lightning strike on the bridge.
Oh yeah.
Because like that was something where he had the spherical, or like like he had the diamond and the undead eye, which were spell components. But the component specifically says like an undead eyeball inside a gem worth yada yada. And like he was trying to figure out a way to do this, like for a while, and I had a thing written out that I had sent to Adrian, and then we got in the fight, and and Ezrin got knocked unconscious off the bridge, to where he was falling, and Adrian's like, narrate it, like use your ritual and narrate it, and I'm like, fuck, okay.
Nice.
And like the lightning bolt came down, it shattered the diamond, and the diamond reformed into a perfect sphere around the undead eyeball. Like the lightning struck the rock, did, if I remember right, a decent amount of damage. Um, and like, and also struck Ezra, and just like I think it caused like part of the bridge to crack and such, and yeah, it was so much fun. And then he's like, "Okay, cool." And then you start falling.
Yeah. I remember having two reactions to that moment. One was being, what the heck is happening right now? And two being, I still kind of hope Ezrin dies. He's still gonna go splat at the bottom of this thing, right?
I remember like showing you guys a model of how far you would fall. I think.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, that was.
It was like a YouTube
insane.
video or
Yeah.
something. Yeah.
Yeah, that was insane because like saying the number is one thing, visualizing it, it's just like, oh boy, he's gonna go.
Yeah.
Yeah, just.
All right. What about you, Pink?
Don't that name me.
I'm sorry, Quinn.
Gosh.
Person who played Kobold.
Think I'm gonna say the original RP moment. I think I'm gonna say probably the Amber Temple when we did like the sarcophagi things with like all the dark gifts. I think that was a really cool moment. I think Adrian did a really good job at narrating that, where it felt very real. Like it felt like there's a cost to this.
Yeah,
like
you're making this decision.
Yeah, and there was like a real impact to it. And I felt like that moment was like in kind of the whole arc around that was really, really cool.
There's also
That voice
when
is
you
really
rescue the
nice.
cat girl. Remember the cat girl?
That
Oh
was,
yeah.
like one of my worst moments because I'm like, I'm aging this girl up. I didn't
Yeah, that was good.
like
That was
what's
good.
going on here.
But that was one
Yeah,
of
because
Pink's
in the
like
thing,
solo
wasn't she,
missions.
like 14?
I think it's younger. I think it's younger in the module. Yeah.
It was creepy
Jesus.
and I didn't like it. And I'm like, like, because I felt weird. And I'm like, hey guys. I like paused the session. I'm like, I don't like this. Because I feel uncomfortable, I'm going to age this person up. Okay?
Yeah.
Because this feels weird.
But I remember it was one of Pink's like solo stealth missions, the typical rogue thing. And then all of a sudden they're interacting with this like cat girl. It's very strange and bizarre. And yeah, I like that scene for Pink too.
If you say so.
What about favorite moments, like not specific to your character? Did we talk about that? We kind of did encounters. I don't know if that's the same thing.
Not quite.
I mean, mine was Pink's RP moment. That was just absolute perfection.
Damn.
Favorite.
I'm talking about Pink the
moment.
Kobold. I'm not dead naming you.
Damn.
Damn.
A favorite moment that wouldn't be an encounter we already talked about, maybe.
I liked. Okay, there's a story I created around the vampire,
Oh yeah.
which I felt like at
Doru.
the end
Oh,
fell flat.
fuck,
Doru,
right.
yeah. And I felt like it ended flat, but I think the lead up was really good. Of just like seeing him just be angry and becoming a vampire, because he became a true vampire when someone that hated him killed him.
Yeah.
Hi, I am someone that hated him.
Yeah. And he killed someone he loved. And I was just like, because I was like, I just need this to happen so bad. I need this to happen. I made this background character that's like, has no other lines other than to die a vampire, to be some bigger character than he was.
I think the only reason it ended flat was because you were tired. Like, you were so tired at the end of that.
Yeah, I know.
What was Doru's role in the end? What happened with that story? I don't remember.
Well, they were fighting Strahd and he burned up and died.
Oh, yeah.
He like joined us fighting Strahd?
Yeah, but he was still too weak.
Okay, yeah, I don't really remember that.
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
He burned up and died, and Strahd had already destroyed his coffin.
I do remember though. There's two very impactful Doru moments. I think he betrayed us in the Ember Temple, or saved us. Somehow he had an impactful moment in the Ember Temple, and then remember when we all set up that ambush where we're gonna kill Doru, and that resulted in him like crying and hugging one of us.
Because one of you guys pretended to be his dead father.
Yeah.
That's right.
Again, hi, am dead.
Was
father.
that you? You were the one that he was
Yeah.
crying on? I just remember us. We probably spent an hour, knowing us, setting up an ambush, and then the scenario was in front of us to do the ambush. What we had planned for was materializing, and then Adrian has this character just like go to their knees and start crying. And like super not what we were all mentally prepared for. We thought it was gonna be a combat scenario. That was a crazy moment.
And even when we fired at him later, because I remember Ezrin like moved off to the side, swapped out his disguise so that it doesn't look like someone was disguised as like the ghostly afterimage of his father, and then fired at him. I remember he like moved over, swapped out his image, and then fired Eldritch Blast at Doru, and he just kept going. He's just like, I'm too, like he was too aggrieved to fight back, and that was I think that was the moment that like we kind of took a step back and we're just like, shit, what the fuck has this guy been through?
Yeah, I remember that being a big moment. Like, I think I totally froze on Arlen's actions. Like, there was like Arlen wasn't going to do anything in that moment because it was just like, what is happening?
In turn order, and then I'm like, do you do anything? And I was like, no. And then like one person's in, I shoot.
Right.
I think that might have been me.
I think it was.
Shot him with an arrow.
Quinn, it was you and me that shot. I only shot because, again, I've said it before. Ezrin saw the world in very like in somewhat distinct areas, but also only shot because you shot. It's like, okay, we're taking offensives as against this person. I shall shoot.
Yeah, and I think I
didn't
definitely,
fight back.
past Daru, I definitely like kind of debuffed the amount of influence the Ravens had, where they're like, oh, we're trying to survive here. We can't help you with the offensive. You can have Adrian, or you can have one other person.
Mm-hmm.
But that was it. Oh. And that was like a key point that Sard wanted in, and they're like, no, we don't know you.
Guys, I was looking at my notebook and I forgot about that assassin mirror.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Who
the
did we
fake
kill
news.
with that?
my enemy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Wasn't it like the guard captain or something?
Yeah, we know we killed the guard captain. Once again.
I had forgotten about that. That was pretty intense.
Mm-hmm. That happened off screen.
There's Tresh, our darling Tresh. We didn't talk about Tresh very much.
Tresh's arc where we had to resurrect her. That was a bit.
That was intense, and I also remember the first moments everybody tried to wingman for Arlen, and that being very funny because everybody was like prestidigitationing and it's like making Arlen like float and like all this stuff to try to like get the girl
and things like that.
Yeah.
Smoke was billowing.
Yeah.
It was like, yeah, it was. That was fun. The whole, like the whole Treshland ship was. That was something.
Yeah, I don't know why. I this was like not a character. It was an NPC I made up, and I don't know why I fell in love with Tresh. I'm like, I like this character, and I started just like I invested money into making getting a commissioned of Tresh.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was maybe before y'all too. Before I did any other commissions for y'all.
Oh really? Oh, gotcha. Yeah.
I'm looking at
Not before our campaign, before our
doing
commissions.
that.
Yeah.
Hold on. Let me just move the camera real quick.
He has a perverse obsession with trash. Long before our campaign.
Right. Oh, we didn't talk about Pink being a were lizard.
Do we have to?
Oh right.
What?
Yeah. Pink is an assassin lizard.
So
Okay.
and I was up Adrian's ass about that. Just like, wouldn't it be so cool? And what if we do this and this and this? And I never used it. I used it.
Yeah. I feel like that could have been played up a lot more.
I
Or
used
you
it
just
one
used.
time.
Yeah.
Hey man,
You use it one time and then I tried to kill you.
You just had it.
I know, but I was just like, I don't know when to use it. I don't know when the right time is like to reveal it. And it was literally just towards the end of the campaign. I was like, fuck, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I just came across a note of mine that says, "Where is Tresh?"
Oh,
They ended up getting married, Arlen and Tresh.
Aw.
true story.
True story. We made it true. We made it a true story.
Yeah.
That's how it works.
That's how.
How is
this
it
game
written?
works.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Ezran disguised as Strahd. I don't remember Ezran doing that.
That was when we were getting away from the dinner.
Oh yeah, then Strahd
Oh.
was there.
I know Arlen was pretending to be Rahadin also. And you have we're at the dinner party. You have Strahd leave. He goes to the Amber Temple because he saw Doru, or at least that's what we were led to believe.
That's right.
And so Ezran, at some point, you impersonate Strahd in the castle still, right?
Yeah, so that the werewolves would let us leave.
And then we leave, and so Arlen's impersonating Rahadin. I think we have Arena with us.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right, we're like fleeing the castle, and Strahd like action movie or like superhero like just lands in our cart, and
I don't remember how we got him away.
it was I rolled a natural 20.
Oh, right.
I was like, Master, the castle is in rebellion. I'm taking Arena somewhere safe or something. I don't remember. Some bull crap, right? And Adrian's like, go ahead and roll, you moron, with my -1 charisma. And I was like, nat 20. Yeah, that's right. That was a fun.
You guys had. I think that's another reason I never got any kills. It was just like good net 20s just fucking me and me not getting any of those. I think I got a couple for sure, but like nothing very cinematic from my end.
Well, that's the funny thing is like it turned out, Adrian, a lot of your horrible rolls were the cinematic moments for us.
Yeah.
Like I remember the white fight, right? Like that. Like I will tell stories to people that like want to talk to me about Dungeons and Dragons about fending off all those whites. And part of that story is because you weren't rolling up a armor class, you know, like, and you're probably, if you're anything like me, Dungeon Master, you're probably like, oh, come on, I want to make this like competitive. I want to make you nervous. I want to make you feel like this could go the other way.
Yeah.
But because it so wasn't, I was like, Arlen is the freaking best, you know? Like it was the best for me. So part of your roles were resulted in then some of our like biggest triumphs.
True. All right.
Pink also got bit by a vampire. I have on my list.
Yeah, that's why he's the
You got werewolf bit and vampire bit. Jeez,
yeah,
Louise.
I think he's safe though. But we had the question mark if he would.
Okay.
I don't remember. Did I get saved?
Yeah.
You must have, because you never
vampire.
like went vampire mode on us.
I was like sick for a while.
Oh yeah, Adrian, you know what was interesting about the Crystal Strahd game? Now you're gonna have to start editing this. You had that whole previous adventuring party. That was like an interesting aspect. That was like an interesting aspect to our campaign is there were these traces, and it's a little bit in the module, but you took it and just did, totally different thing with it.
Bob Decker.
Yeah, you had Bob. I just saw.
Oh.
You had Bob. Oh no, this is one of our one shots. But yeah, you had this whole other previous adventuring party that you kind of weaved into the story, and that was really like interesting too.
Weren't those the old player characters?
Some of them were, but there was
like
another party.
The
on
ones
top
that
of
had left.
No. Because those guys came at like the dinner at Strahd, and then JJ fucking put up a magical circle, and we killed all of them. But those were the old player characters. But then this time, there was like background characters in the back. Hold up. I think I have it somewhere.
Well, I'm thinking of the guys that were all there before us, and or somebody had a connection to one of them. But
Elias, Bob, and Ben.
Yeah, that was kind of fun. Kind of.
Oh yeah, and he had a connection to Elias.
Who was that?
No, not had a connection to Elias from that group.
Yeah. Yes. So that was just another unique, kind of interesting aspect of our Crystal Strahd campaign.
Here's the names. These are there's some lore that I drew up that I haven't released because I wanted to come back and like release it bit by bit because I'm like I was consistently writing some cool ass stories in the background.
Mm-hmm.
Like here's one talking about it. The title's just called Just One More, and it's this village of Barovian couple that are just craved these cookies. So I have this whole fucking story that I haven't put out because I was afraid, because I wanted to be finished before I set it out. I have one where it's like, where's the girl? Irina's journey to Vallaki. What's it called? The journey begins is what the first group is, and then the last leg is when they fight Strahd and fail.
And you wrote that out? Like you wrote their fight out?
I had it visualized. I didn't write it out, but I have these stories that I wanted to flesh out.
Yeah, because you had one of them getting kicked off the tower. Yeah. I remember that.
He became part of his soul. Was imbued with his armor.
Oh, that Arlen put on.
Oh yeah, that was the animated
Arlen
armor.
put on that armor and started feeling another heartbeat.
Yep.
That was a really cool moment. That was during the dinner party with Strahd. So while we have the tension of sitting at a dinner party with Strahd, Adrian just kind of goes, "Oh, and Arlen, you feel another heartbeat inside of your chest." Like, this is what I need right now. The stress of sitting at dinner across from a vampire lord, and all of a sudden you've got a second heartbeat going. Yeah, that was good.
Yeah, but you kept the armor on because that was the one set of studded leather armor in all of Barovia.
No, but not dispelled it or something. So it was no longer like a +1 magical armor, but it also was no longer cursed.
Yeah.
And it had the big hole in it. Huh. I was
Yes,
like
yes.
susceptible. I was like susceptible to crits or something
Yeah.
because of it. Yeah.
Okay, so the story on that one was like that soul that jumped to the that's right. That soul jumped into the other like standing full sets of armor and ran
Yeah.
away later on. The
Oh yeah.
the heartbeat was like his soul, like because he was by Strahd and Strahd had killed him, dropped him off the fucking thing. So he was like he gave you like alert against Strahd essentially. That's what that armor did.
Yeah, imagine sitting across the dinner table from the person that killed you.
Yeah, exactly,
Like,
exactly.
Yeah.
So, story about what is it called? Who's Izzy? The death of
Izzy was a wolf.
Yeah.
I wrote as my note is give him
Yeah,
a
but-
proper death.
Oh.
I don't know why.
What?
Izzy was the wolf that we named Ismark. And traveled with us for so long, then I'm pretty sure he died in the Emperor
He
Temple.
did. I think this was like the story of before what happened during the time with the wolf cult essentially, and then kind of him.
Oh yeah, we all got cursed on our campaign too.
Oh, that was good.
That was a big moment, getting cursed.
As
Also, didn't that wolf play a huge role in rescuing Tresh? Wasn't that a thing? Because Tresh was on the other side.
Yeah, because Tresh was on the other side of the fog barrier at the
mists,
border
yeah.
of the the border of Barovia, and all of us who tried to go through, were either pushed back or teleported back. I remember Ezrin actually tried to use Dimension Door in order to get to her,
Mhm.
and ended up halfway up a mountain.
Yeah, you got
Yeah, because I think what you said was the distance it teleports you is correlated to how far you try to move in the mist.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, and she was what, 100 feet or so? And yeah. Fuck.
Yeah, I only released one story because I finished it. Everything else was.
I also remember that that our one clue to where Tresh was it was in some point where we were I think we were camping, and Arlen was trying to he wasn't really sure what he was doing, but got some feedback, psychic or otherwise, and it was Tresh going, "I'm cold."
Oh.
Oh yeah, that's
And,
right.
Arlen, I'm cold.
Yeah.
And that was the entire thing. And so immediately all of us were on the map, just okay,
Yeah,
where is
we
cold?
got the big map out.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're just where is cold? And we're looking around, and we're okay, there are a few places that it could be, but there's this mountain. Hey, guess what also lives on the mountain that we have to look out for? Oh, I don't know, a giant fucking bird.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and then there was, and this has shown up in Ithaca, so we can't get Adrian to tell us too much about it. There was the impersonations. Somebody was walking around, at least as Arlen. I forget if they did it as anybody else.
Ismark.
Oh, it's Ismark. But Adrian had some bad guy NPC impersonating members of our troop. And so we'd walk into a village and they'd be like, "Oh yeah, you did this." And you're like,
Yeah, when
I didn't.
When Ismark was trying to become the leader of Valaki and such, he's like, "You were here a few days ago."
Yeah.
And we were on the other side of the mountain.
Yeah, that was very unsettling. That never got resolved.
Nope.
So much so that Adrian let it drip into our next campaign.
Yeah, so much so that it's okay, cool. This is now a plot point. or this one from plot point to story arc.
Yeah, yeah. Del Sunrise, was that just May's true name? Is that what that was?
Yeah, it was like one of them. If I'm
My Arlen notes start out as like a journal, not notes at all. I can't believe I was going to attempt to do that.
for
Oh
2
my
years.
gosh. Yeah.
I
I quickly adopted the bullet points.
What were you saying, Quinn?
I just drew pictures.
Dude, I want those pictures. I want all of
Yeah.
them.
I don't know if I still have that fucking journal.
I remember you sent like 2 or 3, and they were just like silly things, and I loved it.
Oh, they're amazing. They're amazing. What really needs to happen is because Arlen wrote up a session recap for every session in a narrative format. We post that in Discord. What we really need is the book of the recap in narrative form, interspersed with pink drawings. Like Pink stole Arlen's notebook, and
I mean,
And,
that's
so
definitely
and started
happened.
doodling in it.
so good. Yeah.
That would be amazing.
Because they have like the Hobbit with like Tolkien illustrations taken from it. Like they found his old doodles and included it in copies of the Hobbit and stuff. That's what we need for Arlen's journal.
That'd be great.
Oh man.
Just rewrite everything in Pink's notebook. All right,
I better still have all that.
that's so cool.
It's somewhere.
Well, it's definitely somewhere in Discord, but I'm sure I've got a Word document.
Yeah, there it is, from the Journal of Arlen Kelfine.
When we start like digging things up and talking about it, like I forget how much cool shit that we did.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, this was an
Okay.
amazing campaign.
My first one too. That's crazy.
Yeah. Same as these.
I just,
As a player.
that honestly blows me away. Like, because I've been playing this game for 12 years, and like honestly, after playing with all of you, especially you two, I would have thought you had been playing for a long time.
Nope.
No.
Like, yeah, that absolutely blown away with how good you guys did.
All right, I found the Word document. Arlen's journal is 17,000 words.
Wonderful.
34 pages.
Jeez.
Single-spaced.
Now send that to Quinn. Start drawing. Print them all out.
Print it out and start drawing.
I don't think I will.
It's only like 34 drawings, just one per page.
That's too much. Adrian asked me to do one drawing, and I said, I'm putting that off forever.
Was that the what was it?
He just asked me to draw everybody. And I said, okay. And I still haven't done it. It's just like, I don't want to.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I feel that. All right. Paige, anything else for us?
I'm not sure that I have any more questions for y'all, no, but I would like to thank y'all for letting me host this silly little thing tonight.
Yeah, we ended up going longer than our session, our play
Yeah.
session.
Oh, yeah.
I don't have to think that much, so I'm okay with it. 3 hours of improv is enough for me.
3 hours down memory lane.
Oh yeah.
This was awesome. I do have a question that was from like Dave's kind of semi joke list earlier. Who was y'all's favorite NPC?
Oh,
Crash.
yeah, we didn't ask that question, did we?
Crash.
Favorite NPC. Yeah, I did fall in love with an NPC. It's hard not to answer. Answer that.
We're sorry. The answer of trash is taken.
I know, right? That's how I'm feeling right now.
Please choose
Peter
another.
may have bought the art, but I fell in love with the damn thing. Okay.
With the soul, yeah. Before there was art, there was love. Do you have one, Joseph?
Yeah, my favorite was actually Ismark, and then some guy took him and made him
Oh,
into a player
ruined him.
character and
Ruined
just
him.
ruined it entirely.
You liked okay. What? I'm surprised that you liked Ismark that much because I feel like we didn't actually interact with him that much.
Yeah.
I just like the dynamic of the character, where like he was someone trying to overcome the reputation of their like the reputation of his family or something. So like it's I don't know. I like the character. I like the way Adrian portrayed him.
Have I shared that Adrian had a big influence on my decision to play Ismark as a PC without Adrian
You
knowing?
have not. Please share.
Adrian posted a TikTok
Oh yeah.
that was fictional characters that you relate to. And he included a picture of Ismark in that. And I thought that was a bit strange because the way Adrian's Ismark interacted was very much kind of like a screw up. Like Ismark didn't do a lot of good in our campaign. And I was like, Ismark needs a hero arc. And that's what started getting the wheels turning and ended up playing a big role in my decision to try to see what we could do with the rest of Ismark's story.
That's awesome.
Turns out he just ended up helping the big bad. So
No, he
Oh,
ended up
yeah.
saving his friends.
Listen, we talked about this
for
timey
now.
wimey. You guys have time.
Yeah.
Oh, and I do have one other favorite moment because I forgot about this one. The time that the time that Arlen burned down a house in Valaki.
While we were in it.
Yeah, that was the
Wonderful.
session where you met Ezrin.
That's right, because Ezrin lurked. Ezrin lurks for 3 sessions, not joining our group.
I lurked for 2 sessions.
Like a pervert.
You haven't heard this page?
No.
Adrian's like, "Hey everybody, we got a new player. This is Joseph, okay?" And then he made a way for Ezrin to like join our party, and Joseph's like, he lurks in the shadows and watches them. And it was like a full session of that. Then the next session, we're like, okay, I'm sure he's gonna join us now. I watch them from afar.
Well, and you guys like you started taking on this house, and Ezrin was like thinking about it at first, and then saw something. I think it was like one of them was a vampire, and he's just like, okay, people I don't know attacking vampires. Yeah, I'll help them, and they've earned a little bit of trust. And so like he entered the house and helped you fight, and then after the fight, it was, oh, by the way, I'm Ezrin. And this entire time he was under a disguised self and stayed under a disguised self around them for months.
Yes, I did know about the disguise self thing. I didn't know that he didn't meet the party for like 2 freaking sessions.
Yeah.
True story. Not exaggerated.
Weirdo.
Who's there? Yes, that is true.
Yeah,
I was the house that got burned down.
But yeah, like I just love the fact that that Arlen burned down a house while they were in it, and then when questioned about it later, called it a tactic.
That was probably Dave.
Yeah, he claimed that he did so based on his tactical genius to cut off an escape route.
Yeah, this sounds like Dave, guys. This sounds a lot like Dave. I think if I'm not, there's Mira for Arlen's favorite NPC. That was a big one. Like bringing the backstory little sister into the session really had a big impact on my characters. That might be my favorite. Also,
Mira
Adrian,
was fun.
Adrian noticed that
character.
a lot of these NPCs are ones not in the module.
Huh.
Ones that you created. Isn't that interesting?
That is
It's almost like you You know what you're doing when you're DM.
That feels
Yep.
weird. That feels weird. Don't do that.
Quinn, did you say yours? Did you say your favorite NPC?
Probably Trash.
Yeah, Trish was great.
I think that's kind of the one I had the most interactions with. We had a lot of back and forths. You know, I would intentionally, and even still to this day, I say her name wrong.
Yeah, wait, I was just about to say. I think we've heard one of the first times that Gwen has actually called her Trash and not Trash.
Oh no, trust me, I'm saying Trash.
I also kind of likes the murder hobo Mardukov.
Mardukov.
He was one of the ravens, one of the were ravens, and it was like, what was he against? Just the werewolves, I think, was his big thing.
It was
like, you're a werewolf. It was Adrian Mardukov. You're a werewolf. I'm gonna kill you. And I really enjoyed that character as well, just because, like, hey, we know where you stand, brother. We get you. You feel it heavily, but we know where you're at.
Yeah, there was no subterfuge with that one. It was
No.
You are a werewolf. I am going to kill you.
Yeah. Hey, Adrian, can you help us? You need me to kill a werewolf? No, no, I got stuff to do.
Yeah, can you help us with something? That depends on what. If I can get werewolf blood on my blade.
Yep. But that was fun though. I liked his portrayal.
Oh yeah.
Oof. Man, what a time! I can't wait to.
Did you say your
mine?
JJ? Did you say your favorite moment, Adrian?
I think. Yeah, no, just me. I remember the encounter was the bones one where it was like a giant dog, but like. I see. I appreciate it. I mean, I kind of said it in a very long lapse way where it wasn't like it was one thing, because I could easily say the pink thing, which I keep talking about all the time. But when you guys interact with each other,
oh yeah, that's right.
It makes me feel like the story that we've made together, you guys are actually interested in.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's so good. All right, time to go play Baldur's Gate.
I gotta go to bed.
No, it's bedtime.
Yeah.
It's almost 3 a.m.
Woo.
Yeah.
Jeez Louise.
You East Coasters.
There are benefits to being nocturnal.
Yeah.
I thought you just didn't sleep.
I'm
there
half
are times
convinced
that I
he
don't.
doesn't. I'm half convinced that Joseph just doesn't require sleep.
No. It's not that I don't require sleep. It's that I drink enough caffeine to counteract my need for sleep.
Yeah, I worry about you sometimes.
Same.
Don't worry, guys. I'm just one heart attack away from ending everything.
Aren't we all?
Hell
And-
yeah, brother.
And after all, I don't really have to worry that much. I mean, it's only the case that my family is basically the history of heart disease.
Adrian, you got a little too excited. He's like, hell yeah, brother. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Listen, I don't got it, but like one heart attack away, I can play D&D in the fucking pearly gates. That's what I'm saying, baby.
That's right.
I mean, look, I don't have to worry about bills then.
You, Dave.
Yep, where celestial is common.
Oh man, this is really fun, guys. I always enjoy hanging out with you guys.
Same.
Same
This was fun.
here.
We probably should have done it 2 years ago.
Probably.
we said we would have, and then we just didn't.
Never
Yeah,
did it.
We did. We always mentioned it.
We'll interrogate JJ, so we'll have a little refresher. But maybe after like arc 2, we'll talk about arc 1 and 2. So every 2 arcs or something.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Fun.
That'll be fun. And then Paige doesn't have to host it.
Right. I know. We need Paige's input as a participant.
Oh,
Understood. So
Paige is the
so we
center
need
of
to find.
attention too.
Yep.
Okay,
the leader
so we
of
need
the
to.
protectorate. You know.
So we need to find. We need to find some friend of ours that's really good at asking questions. In order to host the second one.
Oh, you mean Shade?
I mean, he works, but I was literally just making a general.
Oh, were you?
Yeah, I was
Well,
talking
how
in general.
We can have a robot do it.
Yeah, we just have ask ChatGPT. Hey,
Ask
us
ChatGPT.
anything.
Yeah. Next
What is
time
2
we
plus
are
2?
playing, I'll be back in school.
Oh
Love
shit.
Yeah, school year starting on Monday.
That's right. My dad went
For-
is in
for
musical
me.
too.
Yep.
All right. Well, let's wrap this up.
Alrighty. Thank you, everyone at home, for joining us for tonight's very special Dungeons and Degrees After Dark. We hope you all enjoyed it. We know it's not what you're used to, but damn if it wasn't fun. Thank you all for joining us, and we hope you all have a great time zone.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye, nerds.